Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great Thursday, locking in those profits. I hope that's for sure. And let's see what the market's going to present for us tomorrow. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And how is everybody this evening? And I'll show you what the heat map looked like. Not too bad for day 2 of our government shutdown here. So it was cruising right along. It obviously opened up a little bit red and then turned back around. Not too bad right there. The SPY remained up right there. It was hitting resistance, as we had been mentioning here. And you can see it trying to bounce back. So I think we might see a little pullback there in the morning, perhaps. So we'll see what that looks like in the morning. We'll go through everything and see what else is going on, and we'll get cruising here. So let's see what's happening. I just noticed this up here. I didn't even notice it today. It might have been there, but it says introducing why is it moving? Lightning fast AI driven explanations of stock moves on Finviz here. So check that out. I got to check it out. Here we go. I didn't even look at it, and it's introducing our new why is it moving feature. Instant context for stock price movements. That's going to be huge, guys. I mean, AI everywhere, huh? I would say that is for sure. And there you go. So it'd be okay to give a list of like 5 stocks to look at. We go through a lot more than that to look at there. Yeah, you could post up whatever you want there. Who is that? UTAHUTS, however you say that. Utah UTs. I have no idea. I'm terrible at reading. So I apologize for butchering your name, but feel free. Post whatever stock tickers you like, and we'll go through everything. But check this thing out right here. Why is it moving? So we're going to have to look into that and see how that works tomorrow. I just noticed it as I was popping on here. And how are you, Doge Mama 9? Utah UTs, that's how you say it. Thanks for breaking that up for me, because I clearly can't read well. And so I appreciate it. And do you see tomorrow being similar like the last 2 days? Doge Mama 9 is asking. And I do, but kind of maybe a possible flatter day up there, and I'll explain the reasoning why right here. And this is what I had seen yesterday. I kind of went through it and was talking about it this morning, but we had that resistance right here. It did not look like it wanted to bust through. It's poking through, don't get me wrong, it's trying, but I could tell it was going to get held up there today at least, and I don't think it's going to bust through there tomorrow. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. It's probably better that it doesn't right now. And I think they know that too. I think the administration has a good idea of exactly what to do. I think they could play it better than me. And I've never seen anything like it before, because you guys know how we call things. I'm telling you, they've had a master plan this entire time. And again, I don't care if you like them or not. It doesn't matter. But you can't argue the fact that they've been doing things that no administration in the history of this country has been able to do in the stock market. And I follow pretty closely. And I don't know about back in the days, but I know in the last, I would say, a lot of presidents, nobody's ever been able to do this stuff. So yeah, it's sitting on that resistance. I think you're just going to have a little pullback. I don't even think you come under the 50, which is at like 660 right there. So even if it dipped down a little bit, it could even pull back like almost $10 and still be perfectly fine. And quite honestly, you don't really want to see it, because you can see here and right here, it could dip under the 50 just a hair as well and still be fine at like that 656 area. So again, you could have a nice little dip tomorrow going into a Friday, and it is the government shutdown. You're sitting at the top, and they do need to get set back up to get cruising up again. And again, I don't think it would be a good idea to put them into the top and run them up. He already proved he can put them at the all-time highs. It's not a big deal. And he can also pull it back and then really get it ripping, guys. And I think it would be more beneficial, because we'll look at the charts right here. When's the shutdown going to end? And you have a kind of an idea right here. Look at this thing. It's pushing back till like the 10th through the 15th. You can see your 6th through 9th. Obviously, it's not happening by Monday. We decided that we said that yesterday. We had figured that it probably wasn't happening by this Monday, that's for sure. And then we started looking at these 2 dates, the 10th through the 15th, and that's where you're going to be at right here. And it does look like this 10 through 14 is really trying to get the push. So that day is, what is it, next Friday. So it's a week away from tomorrow, guys. And that would be the perfect little pullback tomorrow. Next week, kind of just hang it out right there, get it to bump up a little bit, jump around, and then boom, they open up the they open it up, whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it won't matter because it'll be rockets will be cruising along in the markets, guys. That's what you'll see the minute this thing opens back up. So that's what it looks like anyway. And there's your Fed decision in October right there. And your 0.25 BPS is coming down. This is what we were talking about. We're going to wait to see through the month and see if these things meet at the 40. That's where we're looking at right there, guys. This one comes down and you're, what is it, a 50? It says no change right there trying to go, but I almost think your 50 is going to come up. And if no change comes up, that'll definitely bounce off. I don't think there's not even a shot in hell there's not going to be a change. If there's no change this month, Pal's going to be in big trouble. Let's put it that way. So I think you might probably, I mean, look at a 25 BPS decrease. That'll probably be your safest bet. And then obviously go into have a month off, go into December, and it could be a 50 in that month. So it will be interesting. Again, here's your 25 and your 50 is this dark one right here. And look at it curling up, guys, just like I was talking about. And that's coming back down. So that's what they're looking like, but that's already in December. So, we'll be keeping our eye on it. And that is what the poly markets look like for our Fed decision and our government shutdown. All kinds of good stuff happening right there. But that's what I kind of see, Doge Mama 9. So we'll see if it plays out exactly like that. It looks like it on the charts. And again, I look at the charts and I analyze them, but I also put in perspective of what would work best for the administration. Once I started to think like that as well, I think we started to call them pretty well because you just get into their mindset and see what the best idea for the chart to do. And again, they're just crushing it, guys. So if you just figure out what the best thing could happen, they're probably going to do it. They've been doing it this entire time. And even that pullback to April was probably money in the bank right there. They all loaded up the boat on that thing. And then they just ripped it up there. And now you're getting into areas where, it's over extended, but it doesn't look bad at all. I mean, and AI just keeps catapulting it up every single day. Look at AMD today, guys. Look at this thing. Let's click on here so we can bring it up. AMD. There you go, over $6 today. And what was I talking about? I told you guys this thing was setting up the pop. And there you go. AMD shares surge on rumors of potential chip-making partnership with Intel, signaling a possible major shift in the semiconductor industry landscape. And now, guys, how long have I been saying back here? Something's going on with AMD. Something big's about to happen with AMD, right? We were talking about. The charts tell you everything, guys. That's why I don't need to look at news because the chart already told me days before the news will ever come out. It just doesn't, it's not even close. I've realized this for 20 plus years. So we knew AMD was setting up the roll for a reason, and there's your reason right there. So AMD, and again, it says rumors, but I could imagine them rumors might turn into something solidified tomorrow, possibly on a Friday, and that'll pop up more. And again, when you have things like that going on and the market jumping up and you got Amazon up, a Tesla comes down, but NVIDIA shoots up, and it's all basically based on AI right now for the most part. You can't stop the market. So it is pretty wild. And how are you, Laptop Travel? And how about BTTC? Let's see. What's that one? Black Titan. That's that new one. Yeah, that thing ran, didn't it? I did see that. 420%. Where did it start at? $5. Where did it open at today? I didn't even look. $6 to 39. Remember we were looking at what was the stock ticker yesterday? Who remembers what it was? I completely forget already. What the heck was it? We were talking about it for a while. I kept going back and forth. I can't even remember. Hold on. What was it? Was it I forget. I honestly, was it STSS? Was that? Nah, it couldn't have been that one, right? Or was it? Was it this? No, it wasn't that, right? I don't remember, guys. I truly don't remember. TTNP, was that it? Oh, no. Wasn't that BTTC? What was that stock ticker before they changed it to this? We were talking. Didn't Doge Mama 9, didn't you bring it up last night or somebody? I forget. I just remember us talking about it, but I completely forget what it was. And anyway, oh, here you go. It says it right here. This thing's crazy. Black Titan's corporate stock surge due to momentum from a merger with Talentech. And so there you go. Talentech. I don't remember saying them, but whatever. I'm not sure. It was TTNP. Okay. It was TTNP. Sorry about that. Yeah, there you go. You're absolutely right, Laptop Travel. TTNP. All right, there you go. And yeah, we were talking about it last night. Laptop Travel. Somebody brought it up last night. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah, that one looked real good right there. And here we'll go cruising right through our list. And Utah Utes, I'll get to them couple right there. And I think ELPW is on our list right here already. Yeah, it is. It's down at the bottom. And ELPW, somebody mentioned that the other day, like a week, like couple. Was it last week? I forget. It was on the list, and it was just struggling to set up, but it did look pretty good today, and it is looking pretty good to roll up. And we've been following it, trying to get out of the basement right there. So there's one of them, and I'll go through the rest of your list and everybody else's stuff. And you guys know I have a great Verizon story for you. I mean, this is going to blow your mind. I kind of alluded to it before, but today they actually gave me the evidence, and it was kind of bizarre the way that they did it. And I'll tell you the story. And yeah, as a matter of fact, when they realized that they just had presented me all the evidence that proved exactly what I was telling them, and they're stealing money from me, it went silent. I was like, I had already, and I screenshotted the entire thing. I screen recorded it and went through the entire chat and made sure I stopped on each one so you could see it. And I'm telling you, they spelled out all the evidence, because we're going back like 20 years, guys, on something. And they don't even have the records or nothing. God, but yeah, Verizon can't figure out anything. And yeah, they literally, the customer service, because I tweeted out, every time I hit the tweet.ceo, they contact me within a minute. It's pretty amazing. I love it. But anyway, he tells me all this evidence, and it is exactly what I had been telling them. And I proved that they literally just didn't honor their contract. They just stopped honoring their contract out of nowhere in 2015 for no reason. I asked them, I said, did I legally consult it? Like, sign off on this or anything? He's like, no, there's nothing in here. And I'm like, I know, because I had no idea that you changed my contract a decade ago. And now it's like, it just keeps going up. And I'm like, what is going on? I was talking about this before, guys. And yeah, they literally, their customer service gave me all the evidence in a chat, and they didn't even realize it at first until I said at the end, but I had already screen recorded. And as soon as I was like, well, thanks for all the evidence, and they realized it, and it went silent and quick, they just shut off the phone. They cut the conversation off, which is kind of funny. I'm 23 years and like 10 months, guys. I've been a loyal customer for Verizon. How insane is that, guys? The guy I was talking to was only 23 years old. I've been a customer his whole life. So, and I'm telling this guy, and I'm like, can I just talk to a supervisor? Like, why am I talking to you? You were born when I was buying my contract, dude. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about here. And yeah, you can't get through. But anyway, wait until I tell you the story, guys. It is so fascinating. I'm going to have to get legal involved. I know I do. They owe me a shit ton of money, and they proved it to me. And I was just going back. I'm telling you what, this thing's going back probably to like 2008. So from 2008 till like 2015, things were fine. And then in the last decade, they owe me a fortune, and they know it too. I promise you, they realized it today on the conversation. I don't know who the customer service person was, but you know, when you tweet out to them, to the CEO, somebody normal is going to contact you back, and with a clue. And yeah, he kept going through all the stuff, the data, and they could only go back 10 years, which is amazing. So they don't have my contract, because the contract was from 2008. So they don't even have it. But I was great. I'll tell you the story now. Let's just get into it real quick. I'll tell you right now, real fast. So back then, before iPhone came out, guys, before any of this shit was like on your phones, right? I had the very first, and I'll tell you the reason why. You guys know him. My buddy Johnny owned multiple Verizon stores. He had all these Verizon stores, and he did super well with them, believe me. And so he would always be like, yo, they got this great deal. They got this, they got that. So I could trade in my phone, do whatever I really wanted to. I always had like brand new phones, whatever I wanted. So now Verizon comes out with this promotion, guys. Now remember, data is just coming out now, and literally, like, it's the very first time they're making a flat screen phone. They don't even, like, they give you the internet. You couldn't even get on the internet to do anything. The only thing you could really do is check your emails. So Johnny says to me, he says, yo, this thing's going to be great. And not only is it great, it's a brand new, it's a promotion that they'll probably never do again. You're grandfathered in for life. as long as you don't change the contract. So if you don't get another free phone to change the contract and you just buy your own phones, then you can keep this exact same this deal for as long as you want. It's grandfathered in for life. It was a promotion. So long story short, I figure out they're like literally my wife's looking down. I looking at my bill and I'm paying. I'm like, why is this thing going up so crazy? So I call them up. I ask them a bunch of questions, and the guy can't answer anything. So yeah, I know I'm grandfathered in because I've literally bought my phones, and I don't remember a lot, but I do remember this. Johnny remembers it, of course. And so yeah, I buy my phones outright every single time. I've never gotten a free phone from Verizon so I could change my contract. So I always buy the iPhone, so I get all them. I call them up and I'm asking them questions, and they're trying to answer. They can't go back to even see my contract, so I'm telling them what the contract is. Now they realize that they're set, like the way it's set up, and I'll tell you how long ago this was. So I was set up, and it was expensive back then. I remember I was paying more than everybody else. So what I would do a couple years after that, I'll tell you that story later. I would let the data just run. I would put Sirius on at night when I went to bed and just I never used Wi-Fi in my life because again, I always had unlimited data, guys, since day one, before the internet was even on the phones. I'm telling you, you couldn't go on a website. You could like go on Google, but it didn't even do anything back then. Believe me. I used it for my email. So we're talking about that long ago. I get this special promotion. I'm grandfathered in for life. My deal is it's $50 for unlimited internet, and then it's $29.99 for unlimited email and everything else. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then you pay whatever taxes. And now you figure state and your federal and local taxes or whatever, local and state taxes, whatever they put on there, they go up and stuff like that. So, you know, they're going to go up a couple bucks. Yeah, of course, I'm on the hook for that stuff. But the Verizon part of it's supposed to stay the same, grandfathered in for life. So now we fast forward then, and in 2015, they tell me that they put on my bill, they send out a disclaimer on one of the bills. I don't see it. And I said, did I ever like legally sign off on this? And they said, there was a disclaimer that said that the rates were going to go higher at this point. And I said, well, that doesn't matter because why would I even care? It didn't apply to me. I was grandfathered in. You can't change my amount. So I'm telling them this, and they're like, okay, whatever. But and then they're going, well, we only did contracts for 2 to 3 years. And I'm like, yeah, but guess what? In 2015, you can realize I had that same contract. So they know in 2015, this is the contract I had. They weren't making contracts like that in 2015, guys. They weren't charging you for the internet and the email at this point. iPhones were out and stuff. So they know now, like I'm definitely telling them exactly what happened. And I have to be right because their contracts only lasted 2 to 3 years. And it would have been by the furthest, we would say 2012. We're talking 2015. That's the record that they have. And they know this is my deal. This is my contract. It has to be what I'm telling them. There's no way it can't be. So long story short, I'm explaining this to them, and now the customer service guy on the that I'm chatting with in their chat is now going back and telling me this information, and I'm pointing out to him each time. I'm going, well, that makes sense because exactly what I'm telling you is the evidence that you're providing me now. And so yeah, we're going back and forth. And I realized in 2015 they weren't allowed to change my contract. By law, I was grandfathered in. And so I said, so then if you did that, then that's called bait and switch. So that's an illegal tactic. So it didn't matter either way. I never signed off legally that I was changing my contract. They just did it out of nowhere. They just decided in 2015, and this is what they told me, and I have it in writing. They said their costs started to go up. So they passed it on. And I said, well, that's not my problem. I was grandfathered in. And I gave them the example of Mark Cuban. I said, yo, do you remember when the airlines decided it was a good idea to sell a lifetime basically a pass that you could go first class anywhere in the world? And not only that, if you had this pass, you could walk up to the airplane that minute, and they had to kick somebody off of first class that was already in there if there wasn't a seat for you, and you got the seat. You were the premium person. Mark Cuban bought one. It was $500,000 or something. He gave it to his dad when he became a billionaire, and then you could actually pass it off one time. And there's multiple people. Actually, as a matter of fact, the guy that has the most airplane mileage in the world has that exact thing. He had bought it, and he's made so much money on airplane mileage. Look this guy up so you'll know exactly the story I'm talking about. And yeah, the airlines kicked that out real quick because they realized we're going to lose our shirts. We do this. Well, Verizon must have realized it too. And I remember back in 2015-ish, I don't know if it's that year, but a decade ago, they were blowing up my phone nonstop, begging me to get changed. We'll give you free phones. We'll give you this free phone, the next 2 free phones if you change your contract. I'm like, no, I'm not changing it. Now, do you guys remember around this time as well? That's when the companies really didn't really offer unlimited data and everything, because remember when people's plans started going through the roof and their bills were like $200-300 because their data packages were costing them a fortune. Well, then all of a sudden, after everyone started to complain, they had to start doing unlimited packages again. So I already had it. I had it so long ago. I had it before the iPhone, guys. And so I was telling you this story before, slightly, but again, I didn't have all these facts, and nor did my memory really remember. But then they spelled it out for me in us chat. So yeah, in 2015, Verizon out of nowhere just decides they're just going to stop honoring my contract. So whatever, just illegally just stop honoring my contract and start charging me more. And I had no idea because it was very slight, and I never really even paid attention, guys, because I was grandfathered in. I didn't really care. And at that time, when I was talking, when people's bills were like $200-300, I would purposely put on Sirius when I went to bed, turn the sound off if I wanted to, and let it run the entire night. My data, they would stream through the roof. And that's why Verizon would constantly call me, because I was costing them a fortune at this point. And I had unlimited data. My bill was $120, no matter what I did. And again, I paid more up front than most people back then were paying $70-80, and I was paying more. But then all of a sudden it started to work out great because the data packages and everything. So long story short, now they just keep hiking it up like every month. I'm like, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, what the hell is going on? To the point where it's like astronomical, guys. It's like, I'm like, do I have a car payment here? I got a cell phone. Like, I'm grandfathered into a certain price. How's it keep going up? Like, how much are the taxes and the fees? Like, what else am I paying? So yeah, I had them break it down, and they proved exactly what I told you. And I just broke it down as perfect. I mean, there's no other explanation. They couldn't have had any other plan that I would have had from that long ago up to 2015. So they basically told me, you're 100% right. That has to be the plan that you had, and you had to have been grandfathered in. So yeah, out of nowhere, they told me that they put a disclaimer on my bill and told me they were going to raise the price. I'm like, well, erase the disclaimer because it means nothing to me. I'm grandfathered in. I have a contract. You guys didn't honor the contract. And then they try to pitch me to sell me, we can lower your bill now. I'm like, okay, well, you know what you can do? You can back pay me all the money you owe me, and then I'll sign up for Verizon, or else I'm just going to get legal involved, and I'm going to go over to Comcast tomorrow and sign up for them. And Comcast uses Verizon's towers, as a matter of fact. Verizon and Comcast did a deal together. They had to work together on a project, and I guess Comcast owns I don't know, they own the poles or something. I forget what the hell it was, but they had to work together. And instead of the two companies saying, hey, you owe us this and you owe us that, they made a deal where Verizon now allows Comcast to sell. That's why Comcast got into the cell phone business, because of Verizon, because they made this deal where they are now allowed to use Verizon's towers for free, because they gave them all this money up front for whatever the hell they had, their technology or their poles. I don't even know what it was. So whatever it is, they worked out a deal. Comcast can use Verizon satellites for free. So that's why if you sign up for Comcast phone, you will have Verizon service. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to go with you guys. You don't even honor your contracts. You guys just like hosed me. I'm a customer for 23 plus years, and you guys just ripped me off. And I've had this conversation. I was on the phone for over an hour and then on chat with the guy for like 45 minutes today. But yeah, they literally just gave me all that. How crazy is that guy? And now the whole time I'm telling them, I'm saying, listen, guys, I've been a loyal customer for over almost 24 years right now. You think you might want to grab one of the main I said to the guy, I said, you might want to go get your supervisor and just tell them you got a customer that's been a loyal customer for 23 years. We have a major issue on our hand. And then hand that phone to that person, or to grab your supervisor. And immediately you have that supervisor grab their supervisor, and that one grab theirs, until you get to the very top person that's around, because that's the kind of situation you're in right now. And they didn't want to listen. And I'm sitting here trying to explain to them how to run a business, how to run customer service, how to talk to somebody. Yo, I'm telling you, that call needs to be played. It was over an hour. The call needs to be played for customer service for every country, every company in the country. And I hope Verizon listens to it. And I hope that CEO listens to it. He will know damn right I'm 100% right. And he's going to listen to this call and go, this guy is he might want to hire me. I'm not gonna lie. I was training these people on the phone, guys. I'm literally like training this guy. I'm like, what you should be responding to me right now is this. And I told him word for word, verbatim, what he should have responded to me. It was crazy. I was like, am I in another country, like another bizarro world? I'm like, I'm the one with the brain injury, but yet I can figure this nonsense out. Guys, it was the craziest conversation I'd ever had. But yeah, Verizon ripped me off for like over a decade. They've been stealing money from me, and I can 100% prove it. They gave me the evidence. They literally just handed it to me, and yeah, so I screenshotted it all. And yeah, so we'll be finding out what's going on. And I'm gonna send out a tweet after the show. I'm gonna tag the CEO of Comcast, the CEO of Verizon, both companies, and I'm gonna ask Comcast, hey, do you treat your loyal 24-year customers and just stop honoring their contracts after like a decade? Like, is that a normal a policy or a procedure in your companies? Because if not, I got to switch over to you. And yeah, that's what happened. And literally in 10 years ago, they just decided that they were just not going to honor my contract anymore, and I was grandfathered in. So I am suing them, deleted. I definitely will. Courts generally uphold the rights of a company to change. Yeah, but not when but the change must be reasonable and cannot be hidden in fine print. And that's the thing, Laptop Travel. And like I said, if you're grandfathered in, you're grandfathered in. They can't change that kind of thing. They can't say, and this is in writing. He tells me, he says in writing, oh, well, Comcast, it was costing us more. I said, I don't care. I said, well, what does that bother me? You guys made the bad decision, not me. So now you got to take it out of your pocket, and I gain. That's the way life works. That's called business and legal and law. So yeah, it was kind of crazy, guys. And I'm on the phone today like I was in Bizarro world. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what am I doing? I even told the guy, and then I'm trying to get off the phone with this guy because I'm like losing it now, because I'm like explaining to him how he needs to run, like, to talk to me really and actually handle the situation. And he's sitting here trying to sales pitch me, and he's going, well, I have to finish this, sir. And I'm going, you don't have to finish nothing, sir. I said, what do you need to finish? You don't need to finish explaining anything. You've already explained everything, and I've already told you everything in great detail. There's no more conversation. So he tries to sales pitch me, and I just ripped into him. I was just like, dude, now you just pissed me off. I tried to warn you and tell you that this conversation was over because I knew I was trying to get a sales pitch. And I said, and that's not where we're supposed to be right here in this conversation. You need to learn how to read the room, buddy, because guess what? You read it 100% wrong, and now it's going to backfire on you. And yeah, I just lost it. And I'm telling you, they've been stealing money for over a decade, guys. And I'm not kidding. They proved it. So that's what I was dealing with. That was what that tweet was about. And I figured you guys might enjoy that crazy story. My life is always crazy, guys. I'm telling you, that's what happens when companies outsource abroad and then customer service becomes a stranger reading from a script who has very little knowledge about the product or service they represent. Luis Rodriguez, you hit that on the head 100%. It's kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. And, but yeah, can you imagine Verizon? And I said to him, I said, well, in your software, it should have been noted that I had been grandfathered in to this package. Like, it should have never been changed or ever touched. And that's and he's like, yeah, I understand. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand, because now you're telling me that because Verizon, it cost them more, that's why they raised the price. We're not on the same page, buddy. You guys, you either bait and switched me or you stole money from me. Whatever way you want to talk, you want to call it legally, I don't really care. But I'm telling you, it's an illegal practice what they did. And yeah, I definitely have to get legal involved. You know how much money it is? It's an insane amount of money, guys. It's crazy. So yeah, that happened. And that's what the tweet was about. But anyway, so I told you at the beginning of the show, so I hope everybody enjoyed that. And now we'll get rocking and rolling through our show right here. But yeah, I was fired up today, I'm not gonna lie, with Verizon. I'm just like, these people out of their minds. But anyway, that was my story from today. And you know what else my story from today was? AMD, because that was a beauty. And remember what I was saying about Tesla. Be sure to lock in those profits. And I was talking about this for these reasons right here. You could see this one kind of jumping up, and I was not too sure that it would just continue soaring today. It did pop early, don't get me wrong, and I'll show you where it went right there, or first thing in the morning right there, and then it slowly came down and stayed down for the most part. And again, it may stay down a little bit for a few days here, and we'll go through our Mag 7 and all them guys in a few moments, but let's rip right through our show since I bored you all with my crazy Verizon story there. But yeah, I was just mind boggled there. They just handed me over. I mean, he explained everything to me. Like, he was like, here's all the evidence, dude. And it backs every claim you just told us. I was like, thank you. And I'm telling you, of course, I screen recorded it first. And I said, well, I really appreciate all that information. You just gave me every piece of evidence I ever needed. And it went silent, and then click, they hung up they disconnected the chat. So yeah, do you think they were worried right there? I would assume so. So anyway, that's what happened, guys. So yeah, don't let companies rip you off or take advantage of you. Call them up and tell them how it is. Tell them how to run the company, because they clearly don't know how to, and they need somebody to help them out. And I'm not afraid to tell people, look at this company right here. They're doing amazing, right? I mean, shit, they got AI rolling now. Could you imagine? I said, hey, change the times from 4 to 8 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. And could you imagine all the other stuff that they've done since that? I mean, they went on a rampage, guys. I think FinViz really stepped it up. And obviously, TrendSpider's been stepping it up. We already know about their AI, and I do use that as well. So I check that out pretty often, and obviously Nader showed us how to use that. So anyway, let's get cruising here, because now we got a show to go and do and cruise right through. So here we go, guys. Neon, remember, it was going to start glowing right there, and it is starting to glow, and there you go. I think it starts to cruise up and tries to get out. You got your 20 right there. It may even meet the 20 up here around here and then come back a little bit to get set up. It might not even come out of the basement, to be honest with you. Not right at the second. Maybe next week might be even a crazier opportunity for Neon. So we're keeping our eyes on that one. And of course, our Tylenol maker right here is way down as well. So there you go with KVUE. And that's just staying on the list just until it wants to turn around. And honestly, I was looking at it today, like that could be the turnaround point right there. So it's getting real close. We'll watch it tomorrow and get a better idea. And Kenvue receives analyst upgrade from a Rothschild's following Tylenol-related market value loss. So pretty wild. It has all kinds of cool news up there now. And I can read that sort of. So that's pretty cool. I like it. That's pretty neat. I didn't even notice that. I don't even know when it went on. I didn't even notice it today if it was up there, unless they released it after the market close, possibly, because I don't think I've noticed that today at all. KVUE, but yeah, that one could be right there at the bottom. So we're definitely keeping that on our list, and I'll let you guys know. I forgot that this one, MPW, was a good one right here. This was my very first option right around this time last year. Maybe this is a time that it likes to run. I'm not sure. But there you go. That was cruising up a little bit today, over 2.5% right there. So, and it's still in the top. It might jump up some more in the morning, but we were talking about it last night. And Opendoor, this is why I was telling you guys, leave the door open for this one and let it dip down, because look where it's going. It's under the trend line, and I thought it was going to be pulling back there, and we can see it pulling back. QMCO, not looking bad right here. They just kind of went flat today after that nice curl up, and we'll see if they continue its way up tomorrow. I'm not sure. Again, they may just kind of hop around. You can see it right here. It could come back down tomorrow, hang out there until next week. And then if they open up the government again, it's going to get real crazy in that next week. But we'll try to time that out as well, because we know we'll catch some good poppers off of that. And let's go through our other quantum ones and all them guys. RGTI, that was up $5. I'd keep an eye on that thing tomorrow morning, guys, for some momentum, a quick little momentum play. And I think tomorrow, get in and out of them in the morning. And then you guys know I showed you the little 9-9-30 trick right here. This one was a little after. So remember what I told you, if it doesn't fully spike up by 9:30, right? Or if it's not right up here, watch for it to start getting up there. This one did, and it actually stayed up there. But again, look what happens, guys. It basically tops out. You can just have that quick little trade right there, and you don't even got to worry about it the rest of the day. Who cares? Look at it the next day. You can get another position, because if you buy it down here real quick and run it up, it's a pretty nice little run up. Look at that. It went from like $30 all the way to 35 in a matter of like what, 40 minutes right there, 35, 40 minutes or so. So that's all you need. Get in, get out, take it, and just cruise around. And again, you've picked the ones that you really like, because a lot of these do it every morning. So you can just kind of pick and choose the ones that are hot. I'll show you one that was a good one right here. ASTS, yeah. And this came in, looked like that bottom, and just started. And this one just kept on going up. So, and it probably will continue up tomorrow. But again, you can see that look, and it didn't top out right there. It continued. So get that look on there with that minute chart for you, and you can kind of see what's going on in the mornings and get them quick trades in. So yeah, RGTI, definitely keep an eye on that in the morning as well. And then let's look at QUBT right here, quantum computing, and that's cruising up there. And of course, QBTS is D-Wave, and that was cruising up pretty good. And I would keep an eye on that one as well. Remember, I always say this one's the one that likes to really run right there, QBTS. And we looked at QMCO, but the Defiance Quantum, whatever it is, Defiance Quantum ETF, and that just keeps staying in the top, guys. I mean, this thing just doesn't seem to ever want to stop coming out of the top now. So it just keeps running up. So that's another good one right there. IONQ right here was even running up big. And remember, we were looking at that IONZ saying it was probably a done. And now you're getting this bounce. We'll see. It might make that hard curl up there and get right back through that 76 right here. So IONQ might be a really good one for the morning. And then Z Space right here was moving along. I'm like, well, maybe that's the bottom. But every time we say that, it levels down. We'll actually see. And we'll keep an eye on it. That's about all I do with this thing. At this point, it just keeps going down there. And how about Red Cat, our cat right here? And that was also up. And Red Cat completes a $150 million public stock offering with full exercise of underwriters' option, resulting in significant share price decline. I don't know when that was. September 19th. I guess I got to look and see what the date was. I just thought it gave you whatever was today. All right. Well, now I know to look at the date. I'm like, why did they put that up there? Anyway, so there, they put some kind of news up there, but you got to make sure it's that day. So now I know. Anyway, that's Red Cat right there, and that is looking pretty good as well. So there you go with some computer hardware and the quantum ones. And let's keep on cruising through our list right here. UNH, not a bad one today, and this one's going to get cruising. I think it might even get into the top. Let me look at it. Let me see how it actually closed first before I really say that, because it was looking really good today. I know, because I was looking at it, and let's see. It does have that curl up look. I mean, I would have to bet it's going to go through, but I can't guarantee that one. So that one I'd have to stay and make sure. I'd probably jump on it if it started to really cruise up and get through. I'd probably try to run on that one real quick is what I would probably do with that at the moment anyway. And Soundhound, you're right, was cruising along. And that one does look really good too. Look at that thing bumping up. And again, a lot of these are making these hard curl ups, and they have these curl ups, even though they have resistance. Usually they can break through when they look like that. And a lot of them are jumping up. So it is going to be an interesting Friday tomorrow. Even if it opens up a little flat or reddish, we know it can change around so fast. So it's a good time to always find your opportunities as well. And again, just get that minute chart. You can see in your RSIs if they're getting down into the bottoms and your MACDs, and then you get cruising with them like this. And you can see as it gets down here, it was up at the top right there, and then it automatically comes down. You know, you could play that real quick. But look at it. There's your bottom right after it opens, 9 o'clock. It's like right around before it opens up. You can get these things. That's why these extended hours are so important. Obviously, you can't trade your options yet. You got to make sure it's 9:30 to get into your. Oh, yeah, this was 9:38. I didn't even realize it tells you the time right there. I don't even know if I ever noticed that, guys. Holy cow. I guess on the minute charts, it shows you the time. That's really cool. So, yeah, look. Right after the market opens, guys, this thing bottoms up and bottoms out and just starts moving. And So yeah, you can keep an eye on that. We were going through it the other day, and I've been just keeping an eye on it. I'm telling you, it's a pretty constant pattern now. And shit, if that holds true for like even a couple months, it would be a beauty right there, guys. Because you can literally just destroy the market in the first hour, not even, and then put your feet up, go eat breakfast, come back, see what the rest of the market's doing, and get ready to hit the setup. So yeah, I would say it'll be great. And the after shows on. There you go, Daniel Javier Fitz. There you go. We got here. Let's go through these. This is the DVLT guy right here, Mr. Datavolt. Daniel Javier Fitz. We've mentioned him many times since this call. What a beauty, guys. A lot of people making bank on this thing, I must say. That was a nice call. So we sent over 2 other ones. So let's look at them real quick. They're on the list. APLT right here. Whoop, I can't type it in, but if we get to it, Applied Therapeutics. And this thing ran up the other day and has that nice little curl up look. Let's take a look at it over here. APLT. Let me say the stock ticker correctly as well. But yeah, it does look like it has some more room to run back up a little bit after it's spiked up, a little pullback, and wants to roll a little bit more right there. And ADAP right here is looking good. It was trying to get set up today, and I think you're going to get rolled right off of there. As you can see on this chart right here, it does look like it wants to roll right off of there tomorrow, or get at least set up to start it. And so, yeah, them 2 are really good ones. Daniel Javier Fitz, so appreciate that. And like I said, anytime you want us to look at any, you just shoot them right over to us. That's for sure. So yeah, plenty of props for you, and especially that Datavolt. And you guys know I like to give props where props is done. I'm like Cavino. Cavino says he likes to give props. I've always been that way too, guys. I'm always like, hey, that person's the one that did it, not me. So yeah, like you say, I point out Laptop Travel. He crushes the market. I'll show you all the ones that he does. I don't try to take credit for anything that's not me, guys. I could care less. You guys know that. It's all about helping each other out, and that's what it's all about. And if we just stay humble and do it together, we find things like Datavolt. I can't find them all. It's impossible. So yeah, that's why I say this show's so amazing, because of you guys, and you send in all the stock tickers. By the time we're finished the show, we know everything that's going to pop. We've been doing it for well over a year now, and it's been the same. We've had the same results all the time. It's not like we're changing anything. So yeah, it's because of all the listeners and everything. Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, Doge Mama 9, all you guys, everybody that tunes in, sends in some stock tickers. And again, maybe they're not exactly set up that day. I'll see something in it and we time them out. But yeah, Datavolt was a beauty right there. APLT, ADAP, keeping an eye on them too as well. And we'll keep them updated. But them 2 are curling up. And again, let me look at them tomorrow. We can look at them first thing in the morning as well. On a Friday morning, we might see a little bit of government shutdown Friday going into the weekend. It's always a coin flipper anyway. I would rather probably play it a little hesitant on this Friday going in rather than real aggressive, to be honest with you. So just giving you a quick heads up of how I'm looking at it. I'm pretty confident with AMD right there trying to move. It could even pull back a little, but it's safe to continue to go up for the next little bit. So that's what just going to play it a little safer. Unless the market's like really cruising along, I'll be jumping in things and trying to catch some momentum there. And obviously, starting next week, I'll really start posting the plays in the Discord real fast. I'm telling you, I've just been like not 100%. That was the other day. I'm arguing with these people today. I'm like, I don't even feel that great. Like, what am I doing? Spending an hour on the phone with this guy. And I'm like, I got way better things to do in my life. And I don't even feel great. I would rather have taken a nap for an hour. So anyway, that was my Verizon story. If you missed it, I told that at the beginning. It's a quite wild story. So you can go back and listen to that. And anyway, let's take a look. We were looking at UNH. So Oscar would be next, and that was running up there. And Oscar's getting set up. I don't think it's going to get through yet. So just wait for it. Let these get a little closer. That's going to run up. Where are we at? I'm telling you, we got like a week or 2, guys. That's what it looks like. I would have to imagine the government shutdown is happening, or is going to reopen in about a week or 2, and then the markets are just going to go wild until next year, until after the new year. And yeah, it's going to be crazy, guys. So just buckle up and get ready, because you can already see it starting to happen. And how long have I been saying this? How long ago did I say that it would happen right around this time frame? And there you go. We thought maybe at the end of September, we weren't exactly sure, but we knew that November, end of October, November, and December, we're going to be popping. And you're going to see them popping right here. I can see that, especially coming out of a government shutdown. And it's so funny too. I mean, he may fire everybody. And like I explained before it even happened, they just handed them all the power. I don't know if they realized it, but it wasn't a good idea. I mean, it worked for him, that's for sure. That's why they weren't complaining about the government shutting down. You think if it was going to affect them, you don't think Trump would have been out there going nuts? They obviously knew it was going to help him. So, and I said that. I mean, it wasn't anything new to anybody. And Oscar right here again, just let that set up. Here we go with our ABTC and another one. It just has like a little bit of time here. As you can see, these things aren't exactly ready and it's getting into that channel. You want that 50 to come under and scoop it up. It is trying to curl apart. I'm just not convinced it wants to go cruising tomorrow. But then again, crypto is so on fire. They could announce something crazy. So I could see something happening here. They were filing some kind of forms for corporate event or disclosure. But yeah, I could see something with ABTC. And we know that's Trump's family crypto thing. You're right at the bottom, guys. So anywhere's down here, that was probably your low price right there at 643. Anywhere's, if you see it ever dip down lower at this point, it's probably a great opportunity to just hold on to it for a little while because it's going to go crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of them that you can just grab right here and just wait because that's going to be a beautiful setup. And you know, with the bull run coming in the crypto cycle, the things are just going to go crazy. Bitcoin went right back to 120, Ethereum up there, and Solana. I came down earlier. Everything was all bright green on the stock cube. I was like, sweet. Things are just cruising along. And so, yeah. And Robin's just hopping on there. So how are you? And we talked about Tesla for a second, but we're still going to be going over that. I told a big story at the beginning, as a matter of fact, Robin. So we're way behind. So I'll cruise right through the list starting now. And I was telling my Verizon story at the beginning. It was a wild story from today. And I caught them. They've been stealing money for me from a decade. It's crazy. They just canceled my contract and just said, the hell with that. It costs us too much money. We're just not going to honor your contract anymore and just start taking money from you. So charging you more. It's pretty crazy story. I've never heard of any other company do that. I don't even know a company that's ever done something like that in my life. And of course, it happens to me. You guys know that. Anyway, Pew right here, another one of the Trump companies. And this thing looks like it's getting set up too. I think that's your bottom right there. So again, we have about 2 weeks or so, and you know these things are going to get cruising. Grab a Gun Digital Holdings announced a strong Q3, and that was today. And their revenues of 21 million to 23, and it was exceeding expectations. So there you go with that. And again, they run these things up. You know not to get in it when they have something going on. We wait for these things at the bottom, and that's when you get in it because they're definitely going to run it up there too. They get out at the top, and then they know when to buy it. That's for sure. And here we are with NCPL right here, and that thing is cruising up and looking pretty good. Look at that 20 is going to bump it up off the 50 right there, so not bad. And here we are with our PSQH, and let's see what that's doing right now. And remember, that one recently ran up, so we're just going to let that get set back up right there. Gush right here was down a little bit and just pulling back a little bit, nothing crazy. How about Oxy way down? And Warren Buffett, I think, bought something from him. What did he buy? I don't even know what the hell he bought. He bought something this morning. Just played both sides. Yeah, I don't even remember what the hell he did. Berkshire acquire OxyChem from Occidental for $9.7 billion. I'm not even sure. I think it's like their chemical company or something. I'm not exactly sure what it even does, but I guess Warren Buffett wanted it. That's for sure. And yeah, he purchased that. He purchased that today. So interesting. But yeah, Gush was down a little bit right there. And your RBNE, I'm telling you, this thing's trying to get moving for something. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll just keep a quick eye on it and see if it really wants to get rolled. We know it can have them quick spikes. That's why I like it, because you can catch these big old pops real fast. What's our trend spider doing? Come on, buddy. You start working. I knocked down the mouse, and I don't know what trend spider just decided to do here. But anyway, we'll keep on cruising through. And that's your RBNE. And our OCGN, let's see what that's doing. There it goes. That's working now. No. What is this thing doing? Start working, trend spider. Come on. Here, we'll relaunch it. How about that? There we go. Now we can get in there. and RBNE. I wanted to see what it looked like when it closed. Yeah, it's not looking too bad right there. It wants to do something. So let me watch that one for you and let you know. And BMNR right here, we know this is a good Ethereum treasury, and it was running. SBET was running up as well today, and it does look like it's starting to get that nice curl right there, Luis Rodriguez, and then that Pac-Man look. For a minute there when I looked at it, it was like kind of flat. Didn't really look like it wanted to get crude, and then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, it started pulling up again. So I don't know exactly the time frame. I was looking at it. It was towards the end of the day. It was like right around here. I remember. Wasn't it right around here or something? And it just kind of came back down, and all of a sudden, it might have been like right in here, and then took that rip. I was like, holy shit, that looks much better all of a sudden. So that's what SBET looks like at the moment right there. And that one, you know, is going to be a good one. But this is the one I was talking about, UPXI setting up, and that one ran today. And that's your Solana one. Remember, Michael Anthony was asking about it last night, and I said you might want to get that. That's your Solana ETF right there. We went through all the other ones too, the BMNR and the SBET, and showed him them ones. But yeah, you guys know I like the Solana, and that one is set up and looking good. And good old CoreWeave still trying to cruise up a little, but we'll see if it really wants to get cranking tomorrow or not. And Salesforce right here is trying to bounce back up. It's been just dipping down. I would almost wait and see if we get that 230 down here, guys, and then get set up. So that's what I'm waiting for, Salesforce, and that's why I'm keeping it on the list too, because if it gets set up right there, you could have a really nice run. I could run up like over $20 or so real quick. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. How about Circle today? Over $20 right there. Remember, we were talking about this setting up. I had it in the night note. Said it was a set. I'm telling you, all you got to do is look at the night note. Every single night, I put a setup, and I might be a little bit early, but I mean, these things run so significantly that it doesn't really matter. If you trade that one halfway right, you're going to make more money than probably trying to get in and out of 100 of them throughout the day, just because the setups are just so perfect. I mean, AMD paid pretty well today. The TSLLs and all them, they were paying great this morning, and everything else. So yeah, I can't say that I can ever go against or away from my setups, because you just can tell. You might be a little early. You find the dip. Sometimes you buy it and it pulls back a little. It's a even better opportunity. And then that's what starts happening. And they run up like maniacs. And we've been seeing it nonstop. ORBS right here. And again, this one I just don't think is ready yet. It is supposed to be a big crypto one and have some big names in it anyway, but just not getting set up to cruise yet. I mean, it's trying to. It's just not ready. We'll look at it tomorrow. And our Caterpillar, look at that, Laptop Travel. I thought of your daughter today when I saw Caterpillar ripping up. I was like, I bet Laptop Travel's daughter's super happy today. She loves Caterpillar. She picked this out the other day down here, guys, and the thing went cruising. And Laptop Travel told me, he's like, hey, my daughter, she picked Caterpillar, and said that's her pick for the next like week or so. And I mean, you want to talk about nailing it? Holy cow! She's 9 years old. She crushed Caterpillar. So yeah, that's pretty wild, guys. And that's why I was like, oh, and I saw it rolling. I was like, whoa, that was pretty impressive. And of course, our ASTS Space Mobile right here. We were all over that one in the Discord, guys. This one we were just super early, and we talked about it on the show. I had it on the night note and everything else. So we were super early and all over ASTS right there. And that is your ASTS Space Mobile. I know they do stuff with Dell or something, or at least help Dell with their chips or do something. I forget. But anyway, that one was looking really good. And how about the Big Bear right there? Not looking bad today. We talked about it, but you have that resistance, so you just got to be careful tomorrow. But it wasn't a bad little play today. And Plug was trying to jump up a little bit. It's just sitting at the top. It could have a bounce up tomorrow. I'd have to really look at it. And your LDI, it was trying to curl up. That's your bottom right there. And now we'll get that curl up. It was starting to curl up there today. I saw it actually curling up because I looked at this. And then I looked at this ASST as well, and this is starting to look pretty decent. Look at that curl up happening. So you get back up in here and on that 304, it could really shoot off like a catapult, like a trampoline, guys. So that's what you want to look for on ASST. That is Strive Inc. right there. and we'll strive to hit that one real good. And HTZ right here, good old Hertz, just setting up, pulling back a little bit. I was actually a little surprised to see that. Maybe you're coming back to your 20 and getting rolled off the MACD. We'll get a better idea tomorrow on good old HTZ. And AgriForce Growing System was pulling back a little bit. This one had recently run up. It ran up yesterday, little healthy pullback, but look at that 20. I think you still have some run up in this one right there. So keep an eye on your AgriForce. And let's look at Rich Tech Robotics, and that's up today. And who asked about this? Was it Zach, I believe? So there you go, Zach. That's looking pretty good, running up there over 8%, and looks like it wants to try to get up to that resistance area right there. So keep an eye for a little spike up in the morning. If it hits that resistance, make sure it's going through like hardcore, or probably get out and then reevaluate it, lock in some profits there, reevaluate it, and then go from there, especially going over the weekend as well. You just have no idea how the market can open up Monday morning. Anything can happen over the weekend during a government shutdown, especially a Trump administration government shutdown. So, they're always targeting him, and one way or another, to try to screw things up. So you just never know what can happen. But again, the markets aren't going to be bad. They're shaking this government shutdown straight off. It didn't even phase it one bit. I mean, he rolled the market to the all-time highs like it wasn't even a big deal. And so, yeah, you can't really complain. How about our fuel cell? It was jumping up a little this morning, had pulled back right there. And let's see this ICHR. I saw this one on the scanner. It looks like it has some momentum right there. So keep an eye on that one in the morning, guys. That one's not looking bad. ICHR. You can keep an eye on that laptop trial. Look at that 20 and 50 trying to get smacking right there. So watch that early in the morning. That could be a good one. Here's that ELPW. We looked at it for a second there, and I was saying, I don't know if it's exactly going to get out of the basement right there. It's not looking bad, though, for our ELPW. And, yeah, it really could, actually. Let's look at it. ELPW. Let's see if it really wants to here. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. That's a nice little curl up off the 20 right there. It actually got over it. So, yeah, you could have a little more run up on ELPW right there. That could be a decent one. So keep an eye on that. I'll definitely be watching that in the morning. And BDX right here we talked about last night. Ran up a little bit, but watching the oh no, it already dipped down. I didn't even notice it. It was on the list, and did it really dip down that hard? 191 right there. That says 188. So I'm not exactly sure if it did pull back. It could have. It does say that there, but they're still saying 191 over here. So I'm not exactly sure. It wasn't too bad. We looked at it last night. Nothing too crazy there. ARM is pretty good today, and looking after yesterday's run up, looking pretty good to try to continue up to that resistance right there. So you can keep an eye on ARM. That should be pretty strong. And again, you're going to hit up here just like this. It runs up. It's going to come back down. And then you're going to get that setup to come up and pop it out. And then that's exactly where it's going to be in about a week, and probably about 2 weeks or so. It'll be in a perfect spot. Most of these are setting up to be there. And HIND looked really good last night. As a matter of fact, it did bump up early this morning. I believe it was right at the beginning, right? Yeah, it was right there. I did see it. And then it kind of pulled back, ran up a little bit, and now it's been kind of pulling back a little bit more. But that was not a bad one either right there. HIND, looking at that last night. And CCOI, is that what I wrote? I guess so. Oh, yeah, that one looked like it wanted to roll off that line right there. Look at that trend line. Laptop travel, you might want to keep an eye on this one in the morning as well. Look at that thing setting up right there. So CCOI is not looking bad right there. And I'll tell you what, Marriott, it was dipping down, running around all over the place, but it actually doesn't look too bad coming off of today right here. It was up 474, and now it's trying to get through. It'll probably try to get into this little channel and then jump into this little channel. And then finally, this little Marriott will finally get to 282 and run up. But it might take it again, another 2 weeks or so to do it. So we can just watch Marriott. I just notice it every once in a while. It pops up on the scanner sometimes for whatever reason. And MCHP right here, microchip technology. I was not familiar with this one until I saw it today. And I said, let me add this to the list. It looks pretty good right there. It's a, what is it? A computer hardware, semiconductor one. And look at that thing trying to get set up. So that's a pretty good one right there. And let's see. Well, Cigna wasn't looking too bad today. CI right here, Signet Group, and that could keep a little momentum tomorrow. It was up over almost 2% right there. And DLR, Digital Realty Trust, or whatever. And this thing looks like it wants to roll off and get rolling right there for DLR. Look at this thing. Looks like it wants to pop up there pretty good. So keep an eye on that one as well. And let's cruise through a couple more of these. We'll do our laptop travel and everything else real quick. We'll cruise right through. And then I'll go through and see what you guys want to see. Of course, Central Florida Gardening, Laptop Travel, and Robin Lewis Rodriguez, and Doge Mama 9, and Daniel Javier Fitz, and Deleted on there. And John Kerry, how are you? We'll look at ZNB, and of course, Utah Utes. We'll look at all them too. And Lewis in Utah. Wow, we have a Utah Utes and a Lewis Utah on tonight. That's pretty cool. We have all kinds of people on tonight having a good old time. And if you want to hear a crazy story, go ahead and listen to the beginning of the show. I tell you a Verizon story that happened to me today. It's pretty wild, guys. And I realized they've been stealing money for me from a decade. And they just breached their contract with me out of nowhere in 2015 for no reason. And because it was costing them more money, as a matter of fact. That's why they breached the contract. It was costing them more money. I actually have that in writing. How fascinating. And yeah, it's pretty wild, guys. I'm not going to lie. Pretty crazy story right there. And I will be tweeting out to Comcast CEO and the Verizon CEO, and we'll see who's really honors their contracts for real. So maybe we'll have a little bit of fun with them companies. Hey, why not? They want to rip people off and do crazy stuff. I'll point it out. You guys know that. I have no problem. I'll show you the messages. I'll put them right up on a video. I don't care. And it doesn't bother me one bit. You guys know that. I have nothing to ever hide. And here's your TONX, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, guys, this thing just constantly look at this thing. It's getting to be in that spot. Just wait for it to get onto that 20. It's going up for a ride. It's in a bullish trend right there, all the way to 11. And again, we were looking at this thing in like the 15, 16 area, and it's been pulling back. So you're at $7. You're in a great position right there at the bottom, rolling up with the crypto going crazy. I'm going to say TONX is going to look really good. This is this Bitcoin and gold one. What is it? BTGD. Staked 100% Bitcoin and 100% gold ETF all wrapped in one. I don't know how you can go wrong with this right now, guys. Gold's ripping like crazy and Bitcoin's ripping like crazy. How do you go wrong with this ETF? Could you imagine it was like a 2-timer? That would be really cool. Or a 3-time ETF? Now, that would be awesome. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know how you go wrong with BTGD right there. So thanks for bringing that to our attention, Luis Rodriguez, last night or 2 nights ago, whenever that was. I had never even heard of that thing. And yeah, it's a beauty right there. And you know damn right your SOLZ was looking good. And of course your SOLT was looking good. Remember, I told you option play tomorrow. And there you go. So just keep your eyes on both of them because they are beauties. We looked at APLT. That was a Daniel Javier Fitz special right here. He's the one that gave us Data Vault. And this thing is looking really good right there. So keep your eye on it. And ADAP is also looking good if I bring it up correctly, Adammune or something like that. And that thing's trying to get rolling. I think the other one, the APLT with the momentum right there, could be a runner sooner, like running up faster tomorrow. Let's put it that way. And then your ADAP is going to try to roll right off of your MACD right here is what it appears like. So that could be a next weeker, guys. So keep your eyes on them too because they are looking pretty good. And that is Daniel Javier Fitz's. And let's keep on cruising and we'll look at our laptop travel list and see what's going on over here. There's always great ones. And I would say that's a great one right there to begin with. AEMD. That looks beautiful right there, guys. Look at that thing. That's going up tomorrow. I can tell you that. And so you might want to keep an eye on AEMD. And let's just look at this thing and see what it did today. It's kind of, I don't really like when the minute charts look like this. It's kind of hard for me, honestly. I don't know what it is, but it's not a big deal. Obviously, I could always go right to the dailies, the 3 or 5s. The 3 minutes usually pretty normal. And I do notice sometimes with some of them, they look like this. I don't know. It's just like weird to me when it has like these little specks and they're not really candles. I can't get a good vibe off of it for whatever reason. But again, you can look at it here and see. And yeah, it just ran up nice and smooth, and it should continue its way up there tomorrow, is what it looks like. It was already running up in the after hours a little. So AEMD looking good right there, I must say, Laptop Travel. And ENVB, whoa, that's another one getting set up in a great spot, huh? Whoa, ho. ENVB. Yeah, these ones could be great ones tomorrow. And again, you know why? Because we're going into a weekend, Friday, government shutdown, a lot of things going on. And sometimes these small caps and things on them days will like to pop up like crazy. So it might be one of them just rotation kind of things, to be honest with you. But we'll be keeping an eye on it in the morning. And obviously, the 4 a.m. Warriors, they have their leader with laptop travel. So you guys will know what's going on with that. And FRGT is another one. Look at that Pac-Man look, guys. That thing's going to get cruising as well. So this is a great list so far, because that one's going up tomorrow too. So there you go, with 3 of them right in a row. What the heck did I even write? GORN, is that what I wrote? Laptop trial? I didn't think so. I didn't even know what that would be. What did I write? Hold on, I have to look at your list now. I have no idea what I even wrote, guys. How bad is that? Oh, what's the scores doing? We had 2 games already. Oh, yeah, the Red Sox and Yankees are already in the top of the 4th. It is 0-0, guys. We're probably going to have to hop off for the end of that game, because that's a 1-1 series right now. Game 3, and I would say the winner takes it on. So that's a great series. And the Tigers beat the Guardians. They're moving on. And the Cubs beat the Padres. They're moving on. The Cubs are. And in the football news, we had the 49ers and Rams on. It is 14-0, the 49ers. Rich Davis is happy right now. And there's 6 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second quarter, and the Rams have the ball right there. So there's your little sports update. And what the heck was I doing? I was looking for the laptop travel list is what I was really trying to do there. And I get sidetracked off of sports. So anyway, let me see. I don't even know what this one is. I'll look it up real quick. And then we'll look at the line, and we can look at that real quick. Oh, yeah, the line was setting up the other day, I remember. And it did look really good today because I saw it. So, yeah, I think the line's probably going to stay in this channel right here. And while I look up his list, the cheetah right here, another one. Holy cow, the cheetah looks really good too, guys. The lion, the cheetah. Let's see if JagX can fit the trifecta right here. Let's go, JagX. You were running already the other day. That don't look bad. It could get cruising. The other two, the lion and the cheetah, look a little better. But JagX not looking bad right there, guys. So I must say, keep your eyes on the big cats. And let me find this list. What the heck did I do? Hold on. I don't even know where it went. Oh, there it is. And it is GORV. I could not read what I wrote. That's a G. Holy cow. Look at what I wrote, guys. Can you tell me that's a G on there? I can't tell. Lazy Days Holdings right here. I'm not even familiar with Lazy Days, but Lazy Days looks like it's about to have a pretty active day tomorrow. Look at it. Up 10.5% today, already up 11% in the afterday. And then I see you now, Laptop Travel. I'm sorry, I just looked over. GORV. Yeah, look at that thing, guys. Good old Lazy Days Auto and Truck dealership. I'm not even familiar with it. I don't think I've ever seen it before in my life. So if anyone ever tells you they know all the stock tickers, you know they're crazy, because we know a hell of a lot of them. And every single day, it seems to be some that I've never even heard of before. Like I said, that BTGD, I had never even heard of this thing. When did it open? It opened in the last year. It's been like a year since this thing's open. I never even heard of it. How does it's crazy. But anyway, that's what happens when there's that many. And yeah, these things are looking great. LMFA, that LM Funding America, this thing's looking real good too. All of these have that great look right there. Laptop Travel, beautiful. I've actually dotted every single one of them because they look so good. So yeah, this is a good list. And again, it might be that rotation tomorrow that you want to look at. So OLLB, I would say you're pretty safe right there. And how about the Security Matters SMX right here? And that one looks really, wow, Laptop Travel. What a list right there. I'm going off Laptop Travel's list tomorrow, guys. I'll tell you that right now. SNTI right here is looking pretty healthy as well. And let's see, TOVX. I'm betting it looks good. Let's see. It looks good. That one's the only one that actually kind of has that resistance in there. It might not go crazy right at the moment. But yeah, everything's looking really good on this list. And Velo, Velo 3D. Well, that one's popping too. Holy cow. That's a great list right here, Laptop Travel. And I don't even know which one I would say would look the best out of your list because there's just so many of them. Then this WFF has an absolute chance. So yeah, if I looked at it and said the worst two chances to really run tomorrow might be TOVX and WFF, and I can't even promise that because they could both even move. But the rest of the list looks like they're all going to be up tomorrow, guys. Obviously, I can't promise you anything, but I'm telling you, that list looks really good. So definitely be keeping that list in your pocket in the morning and check them tickers out. We'll go, as a matter of fact, Laptop Travel, I'll try to remember and I'll go through. We'll rip right through them first thing in the morning. We used to do the laptop lowdowns. I'll do that quick list for us. So I'll hop on. I'll do it real quick. If I'm up, maybe I'll even hop on like a minute or two early just so we know we have an extra time. We can hit that list because that could really be a solid list for tomorrow for some easy plays. And again, get in, get out, take some profits, chill over the weekend, see what the government shutdown is going to bring us. And then we'll rock the market next week. We'll absolutely destroy it going on. You guys know that. I'm feeling better, and we'll get some good live trading on again in the Discord. Everybody on the same page, and everybody making their accounts grow. So that's what we're going to be doing. Don't you guys worry. Rhythm right here. We're going to get into that rhythm and get cruising. So that thing looks like it wants to get into the rhythm. Look at it kind of bouncing up. It had been curling down for a while, and that is a really nice curl up. It has a weird look today, but that's a setup look to me. So I would say it might not pop up tomorrow, but that one we're going to be looking at into next week. We look at it anyway, so it's perfect. And Blink Charging is still in the top right there. Not too bad. Blink was awarded a major contract to develop EV charging infrastructure for City of Richmond. Interesting right there. And Sezzle, right? This is another one, guys. We talk about often, and this thing looks like it wants to get sizzling again. And when Sezzle likes to sizzle, the thing likes to get sizzling because I'll show you what I mean. We watch it every day, and it went real quick. And I mean, it doubled itself. It more than doubled. It was down here at what, 40 or something? 26. And it ran up all the way up to like 186, guys. And it wasn't that much time. It was like, what, a couple months? And yeah, this thing likes to rip. We've seen it rip a lot. This time it ripped. So it's not like this one, Sezzle. It's a credit service one. I don't even know what the heck they do, but I know that stock likes to rip, and it's got that look like it's ready to take off. We looked at the SOLT and the SOLZ, and yeah, they're beauties. I said that last night. Definitely be buying options on them today or tomorrow because they are just cruising along with crypto. You can see that, and I definitely like them. I wasn't familiar with them either until Luis Rodriguez mentioned them. So yeah, there's a ton of stock tickers that you just don't even know about. It just depends on what you trade. I mean, you guys can tell, I know a lot of the penny stocks, and you can tell, I somehow can remember, I know the names of them now. They're useless, but I kind of know the names just from going through them for like a year. Can't remember anything else, but I can remember a stock ticker and it's a company name. Pretty funny. But yeah, look at Sterling Infrastructure ripping up there today and looking pretty good. And again, you're getting these hard curl ups, guys, and them things like when they hold on, where's that? Sterling, and that's that construction company. And when they get curled up real hard like that, they really start ripping. So that definitely has the opportunity to get ripping again. And Rivian right here was pulling back a little bit. It had already been pulling down, and so let it get back down here. It looks like it could retest that $12 that line right there, that trend line, and see if it wants to bounce off of there. And then let's go ahead and see what Symbotic is up to this morning, today, because it was running up. I saw it, and it does look like it wants to continue. I mean, you're in that spot now where it already got through. You're going to have that other push happening. So, and it could end. The push could end tomorrow. So watch that one for some momentum there, guys, in the morning especially. And then obviously reevaluate it again next week. But it's had that real nice run up, and it's really in a nice spot right there to try to bounce up some more. Nike right here was trying to bounce up after yesterday. It doesn't look perfect, to be honest with you. It's just getting set up, I think. So we'd keep an eye on that. You had that setup happening up here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be fast enough for it. So what you're going to have is this is going to be your trend line coming down. That's going to have to come down to here and meet this bad boy. So you're going to stay in there, and then it's going to pop. And again, look where you're at, guys, right in the middle of October, towards the end of October, and you're going to see things ripping, guys, ripping. Because that's what the charts are telling you it wants to do. And that's what I base everything off of. You guys know that. So I'm just telling you what it says. And DXYZ, another one that was popped up there. And we talked about on the show. And I told you guys I was getting into this one. I put it on the night note last week. It did pull back. But guess what? You did pretty good today as it ran up there. It was what, a 33 or something, wasn't it? 32.93. It was right there. And now it's at 30, not looking bad. We'll watch for that pullback in this spot because it's hitting the resistance, a little red going into the weekend. Come back down a little bit, and then it's going to really get jolting back up there. So that's your DXYZ, and they do have your access to SpaceX. And how about Elon? We even talk about it, yesterday? He became the first person to reach $500 billion, guys. $500 billion the guy's worth. Can you imagine? What a brilliant guy. I mean, just think about it. He has SpaceX, which is the greatest space company in the world. He has Tesla, the best EV company in the world. He owns X, probably the best social media platform in the world. What else does he own? He owns Neuralink, the only company in the world that can put a chip in someone's brain and it actually works. I mean, can you imagine? And that's just some of the company. His AI company, XAI, that thing's getting crazy. That's what I think just catapulted him into the 500 billion mark. So yeah, guys, the guy is just brilliant. Everything he does and touches, I mean, he's just in another world. It's crazy. And you guys know I love business and stuff like everything like that. And yeah, it is just amazing that Elon is just that incredible of a human being and a nice guy. Like he's just like a dude that just likes to go around, do whatever, have a lot of babies, and live his life. And somehow he has enough time to figure out Neuralink, Tesla, SpaceX, and everything else going on. Where the hell do you get that kind of time? And I don't even understand how you can even do it. It's pretty wild. So anyway, Elon, congratulations on 500 billion. If I'd say anybody in the world deserves it, it's definitely Elon. He's probably done more for this planet than anybody. We know he's the only reason why Trump's in the office. So let's put it that way. Just alone on that might be that big. But yeah, and then talk about that. He's the only guy that ever did something that crazy in an election, was able to swing an election that big ever. So yeah, Elon, God bless you. Keep going. And I hope you are the first person to ever reach $1 trillion, because I'll tell you what, you absolutely deserve it. No question about it. You deserve it. So yeah, Elon crushed it. $500 billion, guys. That's pretty impressive. No one's ever done it before, that's for sure. So I'd say it's pretty impressive. So let's go through our SPY and Mag 7 and big caps, see what's going on here. SPY, again, hitting the resistance today. I was telling you guys, be careful. I didn't think it was going through. You're sitting at that top line. You know they're just going to put it flat right there tomorrow, guys. I mean, it's generally what happens every single Friday. Maybe not on the line, but they just flatten it out for you so you can't tell what the hell is going to happen over the weekend. And it would make total sense during a government shutdown and everything else. So that's why I'm just telling you, be a little cautious, more cautious tomorrow than we've been lately, because we've been smashing these things. I just don't want people to be aggressive and then things go pulling back on them there. So we've been catching the bottoms perfectly, running them up real nice, and we'll continue to do it. But just like I said, the laptop travel list might be the list to literally look at tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. That thing was beautiful. And let's look at Apple right here. They were up, and it doesn't look bad. And again, I mean, they look like that looks like it wants to roll off, but I could see them just leaving it right around there for tomorrow and not really having to make it go anywhere. So that's what it looks like to me. I'm just telling you my look at it and what I see. Amazon right here, same situation, just trying to curl up. I'm not expecting it to go flying tomorrow or anything. It's just going to curl up a little bit more slowly but surely, and that's about it. And then maybe even when it hits the MACD, it's not even ready to get through yet, and it'll be all the way down in like another week or two. So that's what Amazon looks like. Google right here also pulling back. Looks like you're going to have some more pullback right there. It was up a little bit today, but again, it looks like you're going to see a little pullback there. And how about Meta trying to regain some losses right here? And I do think that could be the bottom, but I'm not convinced it's going to go flying. So I think you might get a little run up, don't get me wrong, and then you'll be bouncing around. And I don't think it'll catch that beautiful setup up there. For whatever reason, Meta's just not ready for it, doesn't look. And Microsoft right here was down. And I was saying earlier, I was surprised this one. I don't know if I'll say it on here. I was saying it to somebody this earlier. I was surprised this one was pulling back. It was looking real good, even though it was on that trend line, had that resistance. It looked like it wanted to push through, and it will. It's probably going to be a next weeker that Microsoft has to push through right there. Today at 9:10 p.m., that just happened, guys. Microsoft launches 365 Premium for everyday users, announces a $33 billion investment in neoclouds like Nebius to address AI infrastructure needs, and reshuffles leadership to free CEO Satya Nadella from an intensified AI focus. So, wow, there's some big news right there, guys, on right there, just happened on Microsoft. I don't even see it down here yet, and they already have it in their AI thing. That's pretty impressive. Oh yeah, he owns Starlink too, doesn't he? You're right. Central Florida. Yeah, Elon owns Starlink. Jesus Christmas, guys. Owns Starlink. I forgot about that one. I mean, that guy is just out of his mind. How do you do all that stuff and do it that great? I mean, that's pretty wild, guys. I'm not going to lie. But Microsoft, I might have to change my tune real quick after I just read that. Thank God for the good news on the what the heck is this thing doing tonight? That's why I was kind of, what are you doing, TrendSpider? You never give me this many issues here. Let's relaunch it again and see if it wants to work. All right. Well, we'll just use us. All right. Come on. Get us working here. I don't know what's going on. There it goes. Come on. What are we looking at? Microsoft, because that thing, I doubt it's doing anything in this hour on the chart. But yeah, obviously we're looking at Microsoft. If that's true right there, and I'm guessing it probably is, I don't see why it would be lying. The AI generated content may be incorrect. It's well, let's double check and make sure that's correct right there, guys. But if that's true right there, it just came out at 9:10 p.m., then I would say that Microsoft could be a popper tomorrow. So I know Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Tower are both like, they're checking into it, I guarantee it right now. And yeah, I mean, it just popped up on that AI thing. It's not even down here yet. And on here at 9:01, it says Intel CEO. So they're not even talking about Microsoft. So yeah, we'll have to find out if that news is actually true right there for Microsoft. Interesting. And that would be cool, guys, if like this AI thing just picks up stories like that as they literally happen and just throws all your news up there. Wow, that'll be pretty game changing right there, I must say. I definitely would like it. If that's true and it just popped that up there that quick, I would say that's going to be a big game changer right there in the stock world and on Finviz's platform for sure. So Finviz and TrendSpider, guys, I am telling you, they are by far the best platforms for what we do. Obviously, the stocks and investing charts and stuff like that. You just aren't going to find anything better. And I've been doing this for over 25 years. And obviously, I just started using TrendSpider. I used to use stock charts. And as a matter of fact, if you see my stock charts, that thing is right there. I used to use this all the time. I haven't used this, and I don't even know how long, guys. Microsoft right here. This will I feel like it does nothing for me anymore. Stock charts. How crazy is that? Because TrendSpider is just so great. It's incredible. So I would say your Finviz has stepped it up quite a bit. Obviously, we know TrendSpider is always stepping it up as well. And both of them platforms are just, I mean, they're just going to another levels with what they're providing us as a customer. And even Finviz, what you can do for free on that site is pretty wild. So Yeah, I'm impressed, guys, at AI. Again, we already know AI is going into everything, but I mean that is crazy, and we'll see what's going on with it. But anyway, let's cruise. And I know everyone wants to see Nvidia, and of course our Tesla. So Nvidia is looking good, and again has the resistance. I'd be really careful. Let it pull back. Has that week to set up, 2 weeks or so in this channel. It'll bump around, and then it can get really cruising right there. So that's what you look at. And Tesla was pulling back big after a nice run up. It was up huge, over 470 right there this morning. And I was watching it. I was in it and all over it. Popped up there at 9. And then obviously, if you're up in this area, guys, and you see them start coming down like this when they're peaking right as it's trying to open, you kind of know, you know, I better try to lock in my profit soon. I'll see how it opens up if it pulls back anymore by 9:30 and we're not getting moving in the right direction. And I was looking at it right here and saying, oh, that might be the opportunity. And I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger. I almost did. And I was like, that 20 looks like it's coming down a little hard on it. I'd rather try to curl up and run with it. So I'll keep an eye on it and see. And obviously, Tesla continued to come down today. But again, it ripped up for us huge. And this is why I always say, lock in. Even if you locked them in yesterday, you were perfectly fine and didn't even have to catch today's bounce. It did run up like an extra $10 or so. Don't get me wrong. It opened up that high. But again, you couldn't trade. You can't trade these things if you're in the option until 9:30. So that's where you're at, like right there. And so yeah, I didn't trade the Tesla one. I traded the TSLL, and we'll go over that one next right here for you, Robin. And here we go. And again, another one ran up beautifully, just like Tesla, and then pulled right back there. And here I'll show you guys right here. You could see it spiked up right at 9, just like Tesla. And this is where I was looking at it, saying, "Oh man, am I going to get into this thing, be able to get out at it like a decent profit? Is it going to be worth it?" So it didn't really look like it. And then I was looking at my other calls and saying, you know what, I'm just locking in my profits on these guys before they dip down too low. And it did pull back some, and I can reevaluate, get some more right there. So yeah, I didn't catch the top by no means, but still a beautiful play right there. So I'm not complaining about TSLL. It was a nice one. And could it bounce right back up tomorrow? Absolutely. See, Robin sold his yesterday for profit. There you go. How great did that feel, Robin? Especially, and this morning you probably said, F my life, the thing's flying through the roof. It's up another $10. And within minutes, I mean minutes, it wasn't even before the market opened, the thing started coming back down. So again, you lock in your profits, guys, and you just accept that, all right, I made good profits on this. If it goes up, other people can play with it, make their money, do whatever you want with it. I feel good. I made my money and I'm perfectly fine. I executed a great trade. I have great confidence after doing that. And I'm going to roll that over to the next one instead of sitting here watching this thing all day, wondering if I'm going to make the right decision. And then it goes down on me and I go, damn, I didn't really make the right decision. Get out of it when it's really up, guys. When it's way up there, just get out. They don't stay up forever, and you just never know what the market conditions can bring at any moment. Somebody might have dumped off Tesla all the way up there early this morning, and then that thing just comes down. You have no idea. So that's why yesterday I literally pinned, be sure to be locking in your profits. I pinned it on the X account. So Robin said it felt really good. There you go, Robin. So absolutely. Doesn't it feel amazing? And again, sometimes you'll look at it while it's going back up and you're like, damn, I could have got it for more. And the minute it comes down lower than that price that you sold it at, you go, God damn, I made a good choice. You forget that it even ran up because now it's down. And so that quick swing, if you didn't sell it when it was up, it was up. But if you didn't get to pull the trigger and hit the sell button, and now it's down, now you're sitting there going, F my life, I definitely should have sold this thing. So just remember, you don't go wrong by locking in profits and selling them when they're up. So just take that as the most solid thing I can ever tell you guys. I know I say it all the time, but you just never. And Tesla looked like it wanted to continue to run today. And again, this is what I was saying early on the morning show. Be careful of that resistance right there. You could see, and that was on the SPY, but everything kind of trickle back a little bit. So that's why I was kind of being not as aggressive again. And then going into this Friday, into a weekend on a government shutdown, you just want to make sure you're playing it right. We've been playing these things so smart. There's no sense in rushing into something and handing back profits that you just made on an easy trade. Just look for your easy ones and trade them. And if you don't see an easy one that day, just wait till the next day or the other day. And it's better than trying to get in the one that you're not sure about and risking losing your profits, because you can turn them profits into way bigger profits if you're just trading the ones that are solid, that you're confident in. So it's all about the quality and not the quantity. I always say it all the time. After the morning show, I said the market had resistance, so he didn't really buy anything. There you go. Smart, Robin. And you didn't go wrong, that's for sure. And you've seen what Tesla had pulled back. And yeah, so you made locked in profits yesterday, sat there and watched the market pull back, and your account's looking pretty good, pretty too. But yeah, your account's looking pretty good. And now you got plenty of stuff to play with going into the weekend. Maybe you don't like anything tomorrow. You sit it out, and then Monday you go, oh, my account looks perfect, and now we can make this double and triple this week. And that's how you look at it, and just keep playing it and just keep doubling up your accounts, and they'll keep cruising along, guys. I promise you. So that was what our Tesla did today, and we did talk about it this morning. And so, yeah, we're having a little bit of pullback here, nothing real crazy. And they said Tesla reported record Q3 deliveries of 497,000 vehicles, significantly beating Wall Street's estimates and reversing prior sales declines driven by a rush ahead of expiring U.S. EV tax credits. And yeah, so the EV tax credit that they give out, that big ass tax credit, I think it just ended, right? Did it end today or something? I don't know. I know it is ending very, very soon. And it might be big trouble for the other EV companies. Elon seems to be able to figure out everything, so I don't think Tesla is going to be in that much bad shape. And but yeah, some of the other EV companies might be in some trouble there, because most people were just buying these things because you got these huge rebates back. No one really wanted the car, I don't think. I'm sure some people want them, but again, when you get these big rebates, I have a feeling you're going to have to see them dropping the prices in EV vehicles to actually get people to start buying them if you don't have that big tax credit and that tax break. So we'll see what happens with the EV industry. We'll keep an eye on it, see what's going on. And we already know Tesla's going to be fine. I mean, Elon's just too crazy and smart with things that it's not going anywhere. So let's get cruising. AMC right here, who was talking about it looking good, and it's getting ready to run. And there we go. And I said this thing could kick it off right there. And I think we might be getting kicked off here. So yeah, I think these meme ones could kick it all off. GameStop ran up early. I do know that it did pull back there. I didn't notice it pulling back. Let's see. We went over it this morning. It was kind of moving around. It wasn't like anything crazy. Let's see what it was doing today. Oh, yeah, it was up there, and then obviously pulled back throughout the day. That might have been a good spot right there, right before the close. And so, yeah, we'll look at this bad boy tomorrow. But I think GameStop's still in good shape right there. A little bit of healthy pullback on a run up. And let's go ahead and look at our Chewy. And that had been pulling back just a hair right there today. And we'll watch that one try to get set up off the MACD. And your Unity right here has been pulling back. It is trying to hold up on the 50 right there. We'll see if it can keep itself up there and be good. That one had run up pretty big, though, for a while. And Netflix seems to still be getting shorted down there. Oh, yeah, guys, I watched that. Did I tell you this morning? I forget, to be honest with you. But I did watch that show. I watched one episode of that show. And holy cow, I think I was talking about this morning, maybe. I don't even understand what was going on, but the one character does look like, I guess, I don't even know. It's as like a boy or a girl. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I guess I have to watch another episode. I definitely wouldn't be letting my kids watch. It was just bizarre. It was a weird show. So anyway, I'll watch another one tonight, and I'll come back and report again. After one episode, I didn't even know what the heck was going. It was just the way the show started, too. It was the most weird. It was the most bizarre beginning of a show. I was like, is this just the beginning of this show? I didn't know what was going on. And so yeah, it was kind of weird. But anyway, I'll check it out again What did they announce? Netflix announces a major partnership with Anheuser-Busch InBev to strengthen its advertising business. That was the other day. And yeah, maybe they want to hang out with Busch Light now since they're all getting they're got canceled once. Netflix is getting canceled now. They all know how it feels. But anyway, yeah, Netflix, that show, it was bizarre. I'm not gonna lie. I'll watch another one tonight. Let you know what I think. And yeah, like I said, the main character, I guess, is I don't know. I really couldn't say yes or no. I really have no idea, guys. It was a weird show. That's all I could tell you. It was weird. And so anyway, let's go to AVGO because that was up today. I didn't even see that pulling back. When was that? That was way up there today. Yeah, that was cruising up there at what, 348, and you're sitting at 339. Not too much of a pullback, but did pull back a little bit, and it's not looking bad. MU is in the top. We might have like that little healthy pullback on the Friday tomorrow. So just watch that. TSM running into its all-time highs right there. Little healthy pullback, but it does have that good support line right there. Could see TSM bouncing. You could see it trying to in the after hours, it looks like, for TSM. So we've been covering that. It's up there. Again, we'll have to look at it in the morning, to be completely honest. SMCI looking pretty decent after the run up yesterday. It's in the top and then just kind of flattened out right there, as you can see. So that has a little flat look. Let me blow up the chart a little bit. And yeah, there you go. A little bit flat, but it does look like it wants to continue up. As you can see, that Pac-Man wants to eat it and take it for a ride. And of course, our AMD right here was cruising along. I'm not sure who said that was setting up, but someone, I think, told us about it. And now it was cruising really, really nice. And it looks like it's going to continue to cruise real nice right there, guys. So you might want to still keep an eye on AMD. And let's see what else QCOM was doing. Just kind of hanging out there, running up a little bit. Nothing real crazy. I don't think it's going to get real crazy anytime real soon. And let's see. What does this say? Qualcomm achieves complete legal victory over ARM and license. Didn't they have like a lawsuit and figured that out last year, Luis Rodriguez? Is this thing still going on? I swore they had like a lawsuit between Qualcomm and ARM before, and they had to figure that out. Is this a completely different one? I'm not even sure, guys, but I kind of remember them two suing each other like a year ago, and I have no idea. Anyway, it doesn't look bad. It's running up a little bit there. It looks a little more set up than it did. After that run up, it had that pullback, and now it looks like it's trying to run up a little bit more. Snow wasn't looking bad, as you can see. We had said that one wanted to bounce up, and it ran a little bit, like $10 or so. So there you go, SNOW right there. And let's see what the rest of this list looks like. PayPal is up today. I did see that, and that's actually looking pretty good right there. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Intel is cruising along, and I think you might have a little momentum play with good old Intel tomorrow. And how about Dell dipping down? It was in the top, kind of hitting the resistance. Not sure if it wants to go through, and I'm not sure if it wants to really pull back there. It looks like it kind of wants to hang out right here. We'll see. If it pulls back, it's going to be a little bit and get cruising up again. So that's what Dell looks like at the moment. And of course, our IBM just doesn't want to stop going up. It's in the top, but I'd be careful up there. We've had a significant run, I'll say, with IBM and Palantir. I said that wanted to go up some more today, and there you go. Tomorrow just looks like a little bit of a flat day. It doesn't want to get into the top. And Sophie, I just don't think that's ready yet. It was up a little bit, but nothing real crazy. And of course, our Mara and Riot, they're looking pretty decent at the moment. As you can see right there, Riot was up more, and it's over that trend line. It's trying to curl up right here to get back into the top, and it looks like it's going to. So there you go with Riot and Mara, and CleanSpark looking good as well on that trend line, and looks like it wants to stay in to get back into the top, just like Riot. And then, of course, MicroStrategy is enjoying these Bitcoin prices. And look at this thing getting set up into this channel, guys. So that's going to be a beauty right there. And let's keep on going right here. And good old Robinhood was up some more today. And that looks like you might keep the little bit of momentum right there. And what about our Coinbase? Because that was way up. And we had liked this before. It was setting up. And now it is rolling, guys. And I think Coinbase you might get some more momentum out of that one tomorrow. So keep an eye on COIN right there. And how about your bull, BULL? And it was running up a little bit of healthy pullback, and now we're getting to that roll off. Remember, we were talking about it rolling off the MACD. It'll probably be in next week or since tomorrow's Friday, but that's getting set up to actually go back up. So there you go with them. And of course, our space right here, Virgin Galactic. Telling you, that thing just looks good, guys. I don't know why it was setting up before. And now you can see why I have to stick to my setups. And Boeing actually Boeing is looking pretty good today, I must say. If you look at it over here, it is definitely looking pretty good to try to curl up. Look at that curl up right there. Try to get into it. Should get right into that channel on the 20. Rip it up there. So that's what your Boeing looks like. And DJT was cruising up. It looked good this morning, remember? And it is rolling. I mean, it has so much resistance up here. I'm not sure if it really wants to fly, but that Pac-Man look, and it's trying to hit the MACD. I'd have to look at that in the morning on a Friday going in. But Fun was cruising up there, and that actually doesn't look too bad and could get cruising a little bit more for Funware. So we were just talking about it the other day. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I was like, yeah, if you guys want to change any like Funware. And I was like, wait a second, that thing's getting set up right there. At McDonald's still pulling back there. Remember, we were talking about it not getting through the MACD for MCD, and let it get reset up right there. And that's what it looks like. And how about Disney pulling back some more right there? And I think you're going to have a little more pullback. And we talked about Oxy, and obviously Buffett shelled out $9.7 billion to buy like the chemical company or whatever the heck it was called, Oxy something, OxyChem, that's what it was. So there you go with that. And then Oxy just took a big old dip. I mean, that thing was setting up, something was going on. Remember we were saying something was going on with that? That's probably why they get set up in a certain look. You know something's happening there, like AMD. And here's your ExxonMobil just pulling back a little bit. They're only planning to lay off 2,000 workers worldwide amid declining oil prices. So there you go. And ExxonMobil laying people off. They probably figure that's their excuse, but they just replacing all them jobs with AI now, I'm sure. So it's an easy way to tell people, oh, yeah, oil prices are declining. We got to lay everyone off. And then all of a sudden your job's never going to be back because it's AI is taking it over. So that's what probably is more likely, I would assume. And there you go with that list and everything else. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what you guys want to see. And that is Lewis in Utah. How are you? Let me give you a quick sports update, and then we'll go right through and see what's happening here. But let me see real quick. What did you? AT&T pulled it on his grandfather. Oh, AT&T did that to you since iPhone once. Wow, Lewis in Utah says the same thing. The same story I kind of had right there. He said AT&T pulled it on him. He was grandfathered since the iPhone 1. Yeah, I'm telling you, I had this contract before the iPhone ever came out, guys. I had a contract with Verizon that I had unlimited data, unlimited everything before the iPhone was out. You couldn't even use the internet on your phone. It had the option, don't get me wrong, but you couldn't do shit with it. It didn't do anything. I used it for my emails, and that's why I had gotten it. And yeah, so if you're wondering what we're talking about, I told my Verizon story at the beginning of the show. I was going to save it for the end. Told it at the beginning. No big deal. So if you want to check that out, it's a fascinating story. Yeah. A decade ago, 10 years ago, they just decided that my contract, I guess, was costing them too much money. So they just absolutely just stopped abiding by my contract and then just started raising the price. And obviously it's completely illegal what they did. And when I pointed it out to them and they gave me all the evidence, I was telling you guys, and I screenshotted it. And after I screenshotted it all, I said, oh, thanks for all that information. It's perfect. It's all the evidence that I was asking for. And then I got the silence for a second, and boop, they just cut that conversation off real quick. And I was like, well, little late on that one because I got the entire message. Everything you just told me, including you raised my price because Verizon's prices, it was costing them more. That doesn't matter to me. I'm grandfathered in. that's your problem, guys. You're eating that extra cost, not me. So yeah, they literally told me that in a text message without probably realizing what he was about to tell me. So yeah, I guess I have to go a little further with it. Remember I was talking about Verizon before, and this is what I was alluding to. My bill just keeps going up. It's like astronomical. I'm like, what is going on? They can't charge me for data. You can't charge me for anything. What the hell is going on? Apparently, in 10 years, the local and state, or the state and fed, whatever taxes they charge is gone up like $7 or $8. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. There's no one I'm arguing with about that. That's the cost I'm paying for extra taxes. But you guys can't raise my prices for what I'm in my contract for. Sales tax, other taxes, I have no say in that crap. I got to pay it. I don't have a choice. They can raise it whenever they want. They can raise it on everybody. It doesn't matter. We're paying it. That's added cost. I mean, I get it. Trust me. I'm explaining all this to these people and telling them. And yeah, they gave me all the evidence. So interesting, very interesting. But that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, guys. So anyway, here we go, Utah Utes. I know you were on very early and you asked about a couple. So I know we looked at the ELPW already, but let's look at your GWAV right here and see what Green Wave Tech. I was trying to think what it was. I couldn't remember the name. I was looking at the stock ticker right there. And I was like, what is that GWAV? The Waste Management Company. I do remember it now. We've looked at it a million times. That one's getting to be in a really good spot. You might as well add that onto that laptop travel list for tomorrow because that's looking pretty good. How about PMN right here? And let me just look real quick at that GWAV just over here. But yeah, look at that thing on that 20 right there, looking pretty good. I mean, again, tomorrow being a Friday going into the weekend, that I explained a million times, it's getting to get set up. Let's put it that way. Is it going to pop out of its mind tomorrow? I can't guarantee that, but you're getting into that channel where you're going to start moving. Let's put it that way. So that's a nice setup right there. PMN, let's see what ProMIS Neurosciences is up to, and it's going to be bullish. You can already tell. You see this trend line going like this, guys, on FinViz. You know this thing's probably going up pretty soon. I'm not going to lie. It just basically tells you, you know what it is? I look at it like a magnet, and it's going to suck this thing right up there. That's how I evaluate it, and I view it. So just telling you what I see. And yeah, you're definitely in this channel right here, and you're going to get up into the 50 and obviously bounce around. But again, this thing's going to continue to move up. And once it gets out of the channel, you're going to get a quick spike up there. So PMN, I'd say you're in pretty good shape right there to keep cruising up. And again, it's going to continue to move. We looked at ELPW. It's trying to get out of the basement. We talked about it already, and obviously not looking bad right there, a little bit flat. We'll look at it in the morning, but that one's not bad. We've been looking at it for a few days here, and DFSC right here is DefSec Technologies. I know we looked at this not long ago, and that looks really good. That one I would say put on the laptop travel list for tomorrow. DFSC could be a little mover right there. And yeah, I'm honest, guys, that laptop travel list is probably the best ones that the market's looking at right now. That list was insane. This DFSC looks really good right there too, Utah Utes. So definitely keep your eye on that. What's WeBuy up to? We haven't looked at this one in a while. That is a Singapore. I always want to say it's a China company. It's a Singapore company. And yeah, WeBuy looking pretty good as well. Let me take a better look at it. WBUI. And yeah, look at that thing right there. It did look like it was trying to get set up. I agree with WeBuy too. I'm going to jot that one down for tomorrow. I do like that look right there. And what else you have? ATON right here. Let's see what that is. And we know what it is, but let's see what it's doing. It's Alpha Ton Capital. And let's see what this UK oh, that's another one. I mean, there are so many good ones, guys. And as you can see, I think you're going to have this little transition period right here where you see a lot of these smaller caps right here. As a matter of fact, let's look at the IWM and see what that looks like right now. Because, yeah, some of them Mag 7 big caps, they could pull back. Obviously, we got a lot of great setups as well that are moving. They will continue to move. But I think it's kind of just like switching around real quick. And look at your IWM. I figured it was probably getting set up right there. And it looks pretty damn good to me. So That is why your small caps are looking so hefty right there. And again, your SPY is hitting this resistance, and I think it might come down on us. So that is why we're probably going to see that little pivot, and why that laptop travel list is probably going to be really money tomorrow. So keep an eye on that for sure. And just giving you a quick explanation for that one. And TTNP, we were looking at it. That's also, it's black. Yeah, TTNP. What was the new stock ticker? BTTC. That was it right there. Black Titan Corp. And that one ran up big and obviously had some momentum, or had a merger is what I meant to say. But it did catch a lot of momentum today as well. But yeah, they merged and then made the BTTC, and it made a nice little run today. Laptop travel was all over that. In the 4 a.m. Warriors at 591, guys. We're sitting at 23s. It went up to like 40 something, right? 39. Yeah, that's pretty massive right there. Laptop travel. That's a beauty. And let's see what else is going on. Let's see. No problem. Utah Utes, and that ELPW also does lithium batteries. Interesting. What is the company even called? Electrical parts, electrical equipment and parts in China. So yeah, that's interesting right there. I don't know what any of these companies really do, to be completely honest with you. But it is trying to get out of that basement. Like I said, we've had it on the list for a few days here, and I could see it getting set up. It's just taking its time right there. So not a big deal, but keep an eye on it, ELPW. And that was a good list right there, Utah Utes. Thanks for hanging out and sharing that. I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in and hangs out and contributes, because like I said, I don't even see all these. You guys bring them to the table. You guys been bringing them to the table ever since I started with doing the show. I just facilitate the show and then tell you some of my crazy stories. That's about it. Everything in my life's wild. So I give you a little entertainment with a crazy story. And then you guys feed a bunch of stocks, and we go through our list, and boom, we know exactly what's going on. And you got Robin smashing these things out of the park, and Joseph Levy hitting 176% options in 2 days. And everybody's going to start clicking, guys. I'm telling you. So if you put it out this, guys, if you haven't started to feel like it was clicking yet, and especially the people in the Discord, if you don't feel like it's clicking yet, shoot me a DM and tell me, and we'll get you in the right positions, in the right spots and everything, so that you're comfortable. And again, I walked Joseph Levy, tried to help him out. I'll steer you all right down the right path. You guys know that. Just ask, reach out to me. You guys know I answer everybody on X, and I will be more than happy to get you set up so that and again, you just need that little base hit, another little base hit, and you got that little bit of confidence boost. And that's exactly what happened to Robin, guys. Robin's been crushed. Look at him. He sold profits yesterday for Tesla. Didn't even have to worry about it, and it went down. So he locked them in. He's been doing really well with this call, like with his trading lately. And it did. He said it took him a couple months, but guess what? He didn't give up, and he just kept on cruising along. And now he's starting to really see it. And guys, this is something that's like can be life changing. Like this is a skill that can change your life. So even if you have to put like a year or two, I put 25 plus years into it, guys. You don't learn it overnight. I tried to say that to everybody. It's never going to happen overnight. I promise you. Even if you're 6 months in and you're still struggling a little, it's perfectly fine. You're doing great. You're still trying, and you're learning a lot. Believe me, there's a lot to learn. And I kind of just speed up the process a little bit for you guys and tell you what mistakes not to make, because I've already made all them 1,000 times each. And I try to tell you which ones are really going to be popping and what we like. And yeah, you guys ever have questions or think that you're struggling or anything with the trading or picking them or whatever it is, reach out to me, shoot me a DM, and we'll get you in the right path. I'm telling you, we'll get you all set up. You'll be doing perfectly fine. I promise you. And because we've done it with so many people, and we're just getting started. But I know a lot of other people I've done it with, and you just have to get them in that right mindset, get them to see it the right way, and get them to just trade a quality one and make the trade the right way. And Robin started doing it, and he did. He just got confident with it. And again, confidence isn't getting cocky, guys. You have to have confidence in this. And I tell people often, I tell them what I do, and I say, listen, I'm pretty good at stock charts, and I'm not bragging by no means. I'm blessed with a gift. I promise you, I know I'm blessed with a gift. And but I'm confident with what I do. If I was not confident in what I did, There's no freaking way we'd be sitting here doing this and calling all these as perfectly as we do. So you have to have that confidence. If not, you're not going to make it. This kind of thing will destroy your brain, and that's why you take your emotions out and you get a little confident, and then that's what you start to build up off of, and not the fear of it. And again, you're never going to trade on. No one's going to be perfect. You're not going to hit every single one. And I'll even give you a great example. Tim Skies has made like 50 plus millionaires, and he posts all the time and talks about, you know, how many losses that they actually take, but they keep their losses a lot smaller. And then when you hit these big ones that go up, they make it tenfolds, and that's where you do it. And then you keep your losses real low, and you just blast right through them, and your account just starts growing and growing and growing. We've all been there, and I'll tell you what, guys, I cut a loss all the time. I'll look at one and be like, all right, let me see if this is going to be a quick chart. I've been a lot better since I started doing the minute charts. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, like look at this Rocket Lab this morning. If you're paying attention to these things at 9 a.m. and in the extended hours, you see this thing starting to set up like this. I mean, or honestly, remember what I was talking about at 11 a.m.? It's like a whole new day sometimes. Look at that. You bottomed out right there, and you almost made it to the top in less than a half hour. That was a beauty right there. Where were you? Like 50 to 50 something right there. I mean, that's really nice, guys. Yeah, look at that. You were in what, the 49 range, and ran it up into the 51s in a half an hour. And that could have been good. You went from bottom to top. And I mean, yeah, it went up a little more. You'd be fine if you held on to it. Don't get me wrong, but you didn't even have to risk it. And so, yeah, just look for these easy things, and don't try to play them too long. Just get in and out. Take the cash, go. And be like, thank you for my profits today. I'm moving them on to the next one. And again, you take whatever opportunities are available in the market at that moment that are presented to you, and just take them, because it's like somebody handing you money when this happens. I mean, you find the bottom and it runs up real quick. Someone just even if it's $50 and you do that a couple times, it adds up fast, guys. I'm telling you. And obviously, we all play with different size amounts, which is perfectly fine. But you make sure, and I've explained it a million times, you make sure you're confident at $10 and you're good with trading $10 trades before you move up to $50 trades and $100 trades. Because like I say, if you can't trade with $10, you can't trade with 100, you can't trade with 1,000, you can't do it with 100 grand. You can't do it any of them. But if you could trade with $10 and lock them in all the time, I guarantee you can up the money on it and keep that same mindset that you're blocking in the tens, and then your $100 hits will be a lot bigger, your $1,000, and obviously you work your way up. But that's the way you do it. You start out small, you build your confidence, you see what you're doing, and then boom, next thing you know, you're like, damn, I'm trading way bigger. And that's why we all trade different amounts. And I always try to stress, start very small, because if you can't trade with $10, throwing 100 on it isn't going to help it. It's just going to help you lose more. That's all it's going to do. It's not going to help you trade better. You're just going to lose more. So get the ideas of trading down and selling these things when you got to sell them. Just don't worry about holding on to it forever. Look at it like this, guys. And this is a good way sometimes I have to say to look at it myself. And I just look at it and go, all right, Rocket Lab, I got this thing. It just ran up a little bit for me real quick. Can I go to the store? Can I go to the grocery store and buy anything with RKLB in my portfolio? No, I can't. I can't be like, yo, cashier, I got 10,000 shares of Rocket Lab and it's trying to move. They don't give a shit. They'll look at you like you got 10 heads and they could care less. But you know what you can use? Cash. So guess what? If you sell the damn thing and you're not now holding Rocket Lab and you just took profits, then profits now can pay for something. So just look at it like that. You can't buy anything if you're sitting there holding the stock. You can only use cash money to go out and make purchases. So sometimes I got to tell myself that sometimes and say, what the hell am I going to hold this thing for? It could go up, it could come down, but I'm not buying shit with it anyway because it's a stock and I need to get the cash out of there so I could do something with it. So sometimes you got to put it in that perspective as well. So I hope that helps out a little bit. And we did look at Circle. That was jumping up today. And we obviously knew about that one. And SBET, we went through, and that's a beauty right there. And, of course, our Ethereum treasuries are going to get rolling. I was saying it looked flat for a minute and all of a sudden curled up. I had to text Luis Rodriguez and be like, "Oh, that thing is curling back up, Luis. It looks pretty good right there." So, Wolf, Terra Wolf, right here. This bad boy had been running up as well, and let's just see what it wants to do. It's giving me kind of like a mixed look, and I'll show you exactly why. And I do like to go through all the charts and kind of point things out to you is that I see real quick and what jumps out at me. So it's up here over your trend line, which is good. It's holding itself, got good support, but it wants to pull back down here for whatever reason. And it's got that MAC, your RSI line at your top, your 70. And that's a line that's really hard for these things to get through. We know that they bounce off of there a lot. So if you're not curling through and really ripping it up here, chances are you're probably going to bounce back off of it. So just an idea. And a bounce back could just be down to that 10 area, but you don't want to be chasing it up at 11 when you can get it at 10 and then run it up to 11. So that will be the big difference in making a nice profit that day. So just an idea of what to look at sometimes real quick. And when you're going through these things and trying to say, is that one really going to run? And again, I would just be patient with it. It's nothing that you got to jump into at the moment. And I'll be honest, there's never anything that you've really missed. Everything's a risk. So clearly it's always going to be a risk no matter what you put into it. But yeah, you never have to like run into something and be like, oh man, I'm going to miss something. If they shoot off and unless like you absolutely know them, but again, we look for the setups before they jump up. So we see the momentum plays. That's more of a Tim Skies kind of thing. That's what he does. He catches these things. And with his following, if he posts it, it can start really it can cruise. But these things are already moving and they just pile on for momentum. So they're not picking the setups ahead of time. Let's put it that way. Some of his students do. They do really well with options and stuff like that. But that's not what his style is. And that's why I say everybody has to adapt to what style works for them. And I told you, I started to get out of my lane a little bit and realized it real quick because I was like, man, I'm struggling right here. I'm not even, I just can't see these right. And it was because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing and picking out all the beautiful setups. And so, yeah, you got to stick with what you're good at and what can actually work for you, too. So you got to adapt to what style is going to work for you. And that's why that's why we go through so many as well. But we also talk about all kinds of different things. And we are going to try to set up our option show for Sunday. And I'll talk to you guys, Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Trial. I'll hit you guys up because tomorrow's Friday already. That is crazy. So we'll have to get everything set up for that for Sunday night. I think that'll be a fun show. And again, we can just do that and then just run through the market real quick afterwards and just see if we see anything setting up for Monday. And clearly we'll be on Monday morning to go through the market. So that is the plan for Sunday evening. So I'll make sure that we try to get that all together, and I'll keep you guys posted. But be sure to watch BMNR, SBET right here, and UPXI. They are all looking good. They're all crypto treasuries. They're probably the biggest ones. The two before UPXI were big Ethereum ones, and this is your biggest Solana one right here. And obviously, MicroStrategy is your biggest Bitcoin one. And of course, you want to have your eye on ABTC because this is the Trump family crypto one. So they're the guys that you really want to be looking at right there. And so, yeah, keep your eyes posted on these guys, and they will be running throughout the cycle. We already know that. It's not even a doubt in our minds. And UNH, we looked at, it was cruising up. And like I said, I think it does want to run up there tomorrow, but I'm just afraid of that resistance, and it still has to crawl through the MACD. So it might be a little better next week. We'll look at it tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't look bad there. I'm just telling you what to watch out for. GDYN now, on the other hand, does look pretty good right there. And let me jot that down. GDN, YN. There we go. GDYN, that does look really good right there, guys. So, yeah, that's another one. And like I said, there's just a whole bunch of them setting up. And most of them are in the small cap world, as you notice. This one's 8. I just looked over to see what the price was. And, yeah, so we already looked at our IWM yeah, what am I talking? What is the small? Oh, I just went completely blank. What the heck? What the heck is it? IW, not that. It's the 2000. Where are you? IWM. That's it. Well, I just literally just drew complete blank right there, guys. That was wild. But anyway, IWM, and this thing is looking pretty good for tomorrow, and that's your small caps right there. So just something to keep an eye on as well. And QLCS, is that what that says? QLCS? I don't see anything there. Let me look over here, unless I didn't jot it in right. Is that written down right, Luis Rodriguez? I don't see that one anywhere. QLCS. And unless I just can't read it right. And Cypher, I can read that one though. CIFR. And this is the one Sam like. Remember, I was talking about it last night. I couldn't remember which one Sam liked. Good old Sam. How are you? Hope you're hanging out, doing well with your CIFR. I know he was following this, and I'm pretty sure he picked it up on the perfect dip right there, to be honest with you. I remember he was saying, what, right around like 11.50 or 12 or so? I forget, but it was right around there. And now you're moving up almost to the 14s and cruising there. So there you go for CIFR. Cypher Mining, not looking bad. QCLS, that's what it is right there. QCLS, the letters were backward. And yeah, well, that one looks pretty good, I must say. QCLS, QC Technologies right there today. No clear catalyst has been identified for today's price gain. That's interesting, huh? Well, the price just went up, but for no reason, guys, and that's perfectly fine. You know what the reason was? The chart was set up. That's what happened. But anyway, yeah, that actually looks pretty good right there, Luis Rodriguez. Hold on. I got to get a pencil that works. QCLS. I don't know why them letters are giving me a hard time, but QCLS. All right. They were hard for me to say in order like that. Anyway, John Kerry, how are you this evening? And ZNB right here. Let's see what that for the gap fills. Let's see if it wants to fill any gaps over here. Oh, yeah. Looking pretty good. What is that? Zeta Network. Do we even know this one? I'm not even sure if I'm familiar with this one, but I would say I'm going to jot it down for tomorrow. I can tell you that right now, John, because that's looking pretty good. Nice call there. Look at that, just that little trend line, whatever the heck that is. But that's a good look because when it gets up on that 20, you're coming all the way up. And that has a good amount of room to run right there. I'm like you just said, the gaps to fill, it sure does. And ZNB, I'll jot that one down as well. I'm telling you, a lot of these small caps are really set up here, guys. So maybe we see a little small cap rotation for a week or two. And why these other ones, the big caps, obviously, we got to pull back, set up, get ready for that second week of October, second, third week, and then forget about it. It's going to be off to the races. Put your seatbelts on because it's going to get wild. So there you go. And Laptop Travel said, don't get them started on the Lifetime Pass. The airlines have proved that Lifetime Pass no longer exists. Tom Stucker bought his UA Pass for $510K. And he is the top elite flyer in the world. So that's the guy I was talking about. His name's Tom Stucker or something. I do now kind of think his name was Tom. If it's the same guy, I'm sure it is. And like I said, yeah, he bought that Lifetime Pass for $510,000. And it's pretty wild. He just like hops on a flight. He's racked up the most airline miles in the world. Like he's made a career out of it. He's actually made a bunch of money from it. And so yeah, it's crazy. He gets to do all kinds of shit for free, and he can literally just walk up to the airline any flight he wants to and say, I'm hopping on this flight. And if the first class is filled, they got to go up to somebody and yank them out and let this guy go sit in their chair. Mark Cuban was telling the story. I think it was on a Howard Stern show a long time ago. I'm not going to remember who the people were, but he did tell the story that he went there one day and they had to go in and tell like an A-list celebrity or somebody. They kicked him off the plane and Mark Cuban went and sat in their seat. He tells the story. I forget who the hell it was that they kicked out, but it was somebody notable. And yeah, they had to. They didn't have a choice. So it's kind of crazy that, yeah, they stopped doing that thing real quick because holy cow, you know what kind of bath you take on that thing. So yeah, that was another instance. And we're talking about that because I was telling my Verizon story and I was grandfathered in. And they just decided that it was costing them too much money, so they just canceled my contract without legal consent or telling me or anything. They said they put a disclosure notice a decade ago on one of my bills and said that it was going up. I was like, well, that won't even apply to me, so why would I even have looked at it? It wouldn't even have mattered. I'm grandfathered in. It doesn't matter what the price. Your price goes up, that's fine. Pay it. I'm not paying it. That's your problem. So yeah, I had to explain to them how that works today, and it was quite interesting. And so yeah, it was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. So I got to figure all that out. But it looks like I'm going to be a Comcast subscriber. I've had Comcast for over 20 years too at my house, so I've been a loyal customer to both of them. And but no more for Verizon, I don't think. But I will be sending out some funny tweets. I can promise you guys that. And yeah, and then they gave me all the evidence in a text message. It was kind of beautiful. And I'm done. I can hand that right to an attorney and be like, just scroll right through this, and you tell me if they didn't just tell me that I was grandfathered in, and then they started charging me more a decade ago because it started costing them more money. It's exactly what the guy told me. I was like, well, that's not how it works, buddy. That's called illegal. And like I said, the minute I said to him, oh, thanks for all that, I had already screenshotted it all. And I said, oh, thanks for all that information. You just gave me all the evidence that backed up my claim. And they realized what was going on. And 1 second later, click, the entire message went down, and they hung up that call real quick. And it was I was messaging with them. They hit me up on X because I tweet at the CEO, and literally like a minute later, I get a message back, and they're like, "Hey, how can we help you? We don't want to lose a valued customer. I've been a customer for over 23 years." And so I had to explain to them how the solutions work, what they needed to do, and they couldn't figure it all out. But anyway, you can listen to that story at the beginning of the show. It's definitely an interesting one by I would say it's pretty wild. It's just mind boggling. Like, can't believe they actually told me that a decade ago they just decided to raise my price because it cost them more money. I don't give a shit. It's not my problem that it cost you more money. That was your dumbass idea for giving out that promo. And again, they actually offered a promotion. Now, guys, they were offering this promotion, and I kind of remember vaguely. My buddy would remember. He used to own Verizon stores. He had multiple Verizon stores. And so, yeah, we always knew the deals. And they ran this promotion way before the iPhone was out. So they ran this promotion because they didn't have people getting on the internet or anything at the time. There was no reason for it. And obviously, like I explained to you, you couldn't even really get on the internet to do anything. I had access to it, but I never would even use it because it didn't do anything. Like, you'd go online and you couldn't do anything. The only thing it worked for was your emails. And so I had it for that. And yeah, I've had it ever since, guys. Like, how long has that been? And yeah, they just I'm telling you, my bill's astronaut. They owe me so much money. You have no idea. And when I started thinking about it, I'm like, well, this goes back a decade? Like, holy shit. And of course, probably over the last, like, first few years, I didn't even notice it because it was probably only a couple bucks. But as it started gradually getting crazier and crazier, I was just like, why does this thing keep going up? And yeah, I just didn't know what was going on. But then it just got too astronomical now. I'm like, what is going on? And so I found out what was going on. They just basically voided the contract, and a decade ago for no reason. They don't have my legal consent nowhere. I asked them too. It's in the text message. Hey, did I actually sign off on that in 2015? Do you have my legal consent to change my contract? No. No. That's what he said. No, we don't see anything. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know. Anyway, interesting stuff, guys. So yeah, don't ever let a company take advantage of you. Just go and rip them a new asshole. You'll end up winning. If you know you're right, you'll win. I mean, there was no question in my mind. I would have never been buying iPhones for the last how long since the first iPhones came out. I've been buying my own. I mean, I've never gotten a free iPhone from Verizon or anybody. And because if I had, that would change the contract, and then I would have lost the unlimited data and everything. So I just never bought one. I had to buy my own, and I was perfectly fine with that. So yeah, I'll be going after them. Don't worry. Anyway, CETX right here, dipping down. We were looking at this not long. We were looking at it up here because I know we weren't looking at it after this reverse split. We do like reverse splits right here. That's for sure. So let me take a better look at CETX. Yeah, I mean, you know what I don't like about it? And I'll tell you who asked about it. That was deleted right there. I'll tell you one thing right here. I'm not so sure it can get through that MACD right there tomorrow. And then with being the weekend, it could bring it down a little bit. So I'd be careful tomorrow on it. We'll take a look at it. I'm going to jot it down over here to definitely look at it first thing in the morning right there, because it is a nice setup. Don't get me wrong. You're way down there off the reverse split. We love that. Is that the true bottom? I'm not convinced. Let's put it that way. Okay. So we'll take a look, and we don't want to jump in it too early because it could have a little more pullback, especially over the weekend. So I'll definitely look at that one. Not looking bad, though. It's just a matter of timing it out better. Saver one right here. If I go back to it, I don't know what I just did, but good old Saver one right here. Let's see what you're up to. I always think of like a light sword when I see this one, Saver one. And this one dipping down a little bit right there. This one has a little bit of setup period too, SVRE. And let's see. Yeah, it's just got to get into this channel. It's just trying to get in there right now. So this one will take a better look probably next week there, deleted. And probably be pretty decent right there. So there you go with them few. And let's see what else is going on. We went over a couple. Daniel Javier Fitz gave us APLT and ADAP. If you guys are just tuning in now, Daniel gave us the data volt right here. That was quite the volt. It definitely went pretty wild right there. That's for sure. And he's mentioned APLT, which is actually really setting up tomorrow and could be a nice little momentum play. And he also mentioned ADAP right here, which looks like it's getting ready to set up. So we'll be keeping an eye for that roll off right there for that one. And there you go with that. And Central Florida's long in the RGTI at 145. Oh, there you go. That's pretty nice right there. Holy cow. How'd you get in that low? You were in way early, huh? That's a really good average right there. I would say Central Florida. So nice job there. And you're popping up some more tomorrow. You're ripping up there. That has some steam in it. So we will be watching that. And BKKT is back at holdings or something. Wow, look at that thing's been running up. You might have caught your top right there today, to be honest with you. Yeah, it might get a little spike up in the morning. Watch for that. But I would honestly, after some kind of run up like that, guys, you kind of know it's coming. Remember, I tell you, if they're going to run up like this for like 4, 5, 6 days, I know you had that slight pullback there. I'm not even counting it. You just had a massive run up. You know you're going to see some resistance and you're going to see some pullback. So BKKT, watch it in the morning. It says it was trying to pull back. I'm not so sure if it was. It does say it was at 42 right here. So yeah, and it did close at 43. It did pull back air. Again, watch this in the morning. You could get a little spike up there. And BKKT surges or shares surge today amid a broader cryptocurrency market rally. And the company's recent, so they're doing some kind of crypto as well, I guess. I think everybody does crypto now. So it's not a surprise. I think I do remember them doing it. So yeah, just be careful. Again, just running way up there, Central Florida. So if you were in early, they're the ones I like locking profits in. That's for sure right there. And that Soundhound, that did run beautifully like RGTI. You are not kidding, Doge Mama 9. That was ripping up there. And another one, guys, like we were saying yesterday, it's got to get really cruising through. It's hitting that resistance. I think it continues to run up. It might not do it tomorrow, though, but obviously it's going to be a pretty bullish one right there. So I do like that. Options on the QQQ. Let's see right there. And what is it? You can make a lot by 10. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's Central Florida on them bad boys. Of course you can. And because everything just basically does exactly what you want to see first thing in the morning. And then again, you come down and you find these bottoms down here, even around here, and it tries to run up a little bit. So that's what you look for, guys. And you can play the market any which way. You just find what style's working for you and what really goes good for you. Delete it. I'll shoot you the here. Ready? I'll do it real quick for you. Make it easy for you. There's all kinds of different ones right there. So let me just do this real quick and I'll shoot that over to you and you can just check it out real quick. So hold on 1 second. And here we go. Mr. Deleted, I'll post it right here for you. And just click that link right there. And that'll give you all the different prices in the Discord. So you can check that out. Is it going to post? Come on. I don't know what the heck just happened. There it goes. So there you go. and that should, well, it just had an error. And doesn't even work for me. That's pretty funny, guys. Let's see if it works again. Here, I'll do this. No, there you go. All right, copy that link, okay, and then you can check out all the different plans there because, like I said, they have different plans for the different months that you want to do it, and check it out so you can just see what works best for you and what you want to do. If you have any questions, just shoot me a DM. I'll definitely help you out there. You know that. So, yeah, that's the Discord link right there. Let me get cruising back up to the top. Holy cow, we got a ton of messages, huh? Let me see what's going on here. That's a beautiful thing. So let's go through everything and let's see rate cuts, and print money, BTC. You're not kidding there, Central Florida. I like that too. And how about that Bitcoin? We did not do crypto. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. I almost skipped over. We looked at it for a briefing earlier, but yeah, I mean, it's just running up there. Bitcoin's at 120. Ethereum's cruising up, looking great right there. I mean, Ethereum's getting ready to rip, guys. Look at that thing. Solana, it's your same situation right there. You know it's getting ripping. BNB right there. That's already been popping up. I don't even know what is that thing. I forget. Ripple right here, and that's getting set up to get ripping. We know we like that. Even Doge isn't looking bad right there. So Doge looks like it wants to have a little bit of run. Cardano is looking pretty good to get set up right there. Stellar's been pretty stellar. It was running up pretty well yesterday. And Chainlink right there at 22.69. And not too bad right there, hitting a little resistance, but getting through the MACD at least. SUI, this is a good one right here. And of course, our optimism was optimistic and running up the other day and still doing it. Look at that curl up right there. So I would say our crypto is looking pretty good right there. That's for sure. And here we go. Let's see what else is going on here. So that's the Bitcoin. And let me take a look. And here we go. Here's our list gift for tonight. Laptop Travel said steakhouse. What? No, stakeholder. I always say steakhouse. Stakeholder right here. Isn't this the one that does the printed fish, Laptop Travel, if I remember correctly? And that is looking pretty good right there, I must say, Laptop Travel. It's in that spot where they just love to bounce off of, let's put it that way. And it is getting kind of set up right there, looking pretty good. So we will be keeping an eye on STKH right there. It is looking pretty. And excuse me, I'm telling you, I'm still trying to get over this thing. I feel way better, but I am definitely not 100%, which just reminded me, I never even took my medicine. Holy cow. Let me make a note. I don't want to skip that. All right, let me take that when I hop off of here. Oh, yeah, we were going to be updating the we got to see what this game's going to do. What happened here? Oh, wow, the Yankees look like they're going to try to win it. It's the end of the 7th right now, and it is 4-0. The Yankees, they're really trying to stay in the playoffs here. They might send Boston home. That's pretty wild. Sorry about that, guys. And here we go. Let me check out and see what else we got. So, yeah, Steakhouse micro float of just 595,000 shares. That's pretty interesting right there. And it does look really good. So keep an eye on that. And let's see what else is going on Central Florida. All AI ran. Let me see. LTRX. What's that one right here? Oh, I'll do it right there. Communicate. Whoa, that one ran. You're not kidding. LTRX. That one did run up pretty well today. It does. I mean, you're hitting that spot and you got right there. I have to look at that one in the morning, to be completely honest with you. It just gives you that look. It looks like it wants to cross through. But on a Friday like that, you could get held up right there. So that's why I'm just giving you a quick heads up on LTRX. RZLV Resolve. Oh, that one's looking pretty decent to get curled back up right there. What, they have a double earnings or something? I don't know if I've ever seen 2 E's October 1st. The heck is that about? I don't know if I've ever seen that before ever. RZLV. Let's see. Yeah, that's not. I believe you're going to get curled up. And again, it should jump right over that 20 and start continuing its way up. So, yeah, I think that one's looking pretty good for tomorrow, Central Florida right there. And Wild ETF is awesome to rotate monthly to stocks with most momentum and investor sentiment. Let's look at it. What is Wild? Vista Shares Animal Spirits Daily 2-Time Strategy ETF. Oh man, what is that about? I don't even know what that even is. Wild. I guess it's about some animals. I have no idea. Anyway, it is run up there today. I have to say that, and it may continue up some more tomorrow, as you can tell in the after hours. But I'd be careful. It is way up at the top. It is a fairly new one too. I have no idea what it does. It's an ETF, I guess that animal, what does it even do? Animal spirits? What is that? I have no idea, but it sounds pretty cool. Wild. I'm just picturing like it like it's an ETF for like rhinos and elephants and things of that nature run around in like a jungle or a place in Africa and safari. And yeah, that's what I picture when I read Animal Spirits Daily 2-time Strategy ETF. So I have no idea what it does, but pretty interesting. I'll be keeping an eye on that. And no problem, Zach, for the RR. It is cruising up right there. And he said the Verizon story was wild. Glad to hear him called out on that. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. And what a shit show to have to spend your day dealing with that. You're not kidding, but I guess it's made for a good story. I even made it real clear to him. I said, yo, I'm just being completely transparent. You know, I'm going to be talking about this on my podcast, guys, because they clearly know when I tweet out to the CEO, they contact me back immediately. And I was like, I'm just letting you guys know I'll be talking about all this. I tell people what happens in my life, that's for sure. And yeah, what a shady company, Verizon just decided to just get rid of my contract because it was costing them too much money and then just start charging me extra money when I was grandfathered in before the iPhone even came out, guys. I had unlimited data packages before iPhone came out. That's how far. And that just, it was so easy for them to get proved because then they looked at 2015, which is the last time they could only look back at a decade. So they can't find my contract. But I'm telling you, I would have never had what I had and bought all the phones. And again, they had a special promotion that time. And it was to get people to get in and start getting the data stuff because, again, you couldn't even do anything on the internet at that time. But I wanted it for my emails. And so I had gotten it. And my buddy Johnny was like, yeah, this is going to be a good opportunity. This is a great deal in the future, he said. And that dude, he always knows the future. And he had a bunch of Verizon stores. So, yeah, I jumped on it. And that was that. But, yeah, interesting stuff for sure. And let's see, what's the deal with SenesTech? I don't know. They had 3 offerings to raise cash, but now they have news. Let's see. I wonder if they oh, that's a pretty nice dipper they did, huh? I'm wondering here. Let's see what's going on. I'm wondering if one of their one of the cities that they're trying to get a big contract for is asking them to have like a certain amount of money. I don't know why. I mean, they only have like a rodent thing, but they are getting government contracts. So it's a little bit different because they are working with governments and cities and stuff like that. They may make them say, hey, we want you to at least have 5 million in assets, whatever. I'm just making up a number. They could probably have 50 million and they want them to have 75. I have no idea. I'm just making a speculation guess. I'm not sure why, but just looking at the chart like that, that's my speculation guess right there is maybe one of these big contracts that they're trying to seek out wants them to have something more, and they know they can do it. It will drop down the stock a little bit, but they'll go soaring back up. I'm not exactly sure there, Laptop Travel, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to read what the chart's telling me right there. And something like that is saying like, you're trying to get some good. And I knew that they were already trying to get big contracts anyway. They've been doing very well, and it's still in a very bullish state. So it just pulled back. And that's why I'm saying it looks like something that they needed to show for something bigger. So they were willing to say, all right, we got to dump the price down a little bit with these offerings. But in the long run, we're going to be sitting at our all-time highs real quick. So it could be a situation like that, Laptop Travel. It almost looks like that, to be honest with you, looking at the chart. So if I had to take my best guess, that's what I would say. Something along them lines anyway. I don't really think that they're doing anything bad here. I just think that and especially when you see offerings like that, and we know they've been doing really well with that rodent birth control stuff and getting big contracts. I mean, huge city contracts. So That's just the only thing I can think of. They have to have a certain amount of insurance policies and money like that with government contracts. So could just be something along them lines why it's pulling back and they had to raise extra capital for it. So, and again, they knew it would help them out in the long run. So they knew they'd have to take a little dip, great opportunity, and then it would run up. So that's kind of what it looks like at the moment. And we'll be keeping an eye on SenesTech and see what wants to happen there. And AQMS right here, Aqua Metals. And let's see, because that one looks really good. You were talking about this the other day, AQMS, and it was trying to run up there. And that does look like it wants to spike up a little more tomorrow. So I would say that looks good there, Luis Rodriguez. We looked at our SOLT. Oh, SOLT, and that's your 2 times right there. And SOLZ is another ETF for Solana. They're both really good. And that Metaplanet, that's what this one is. MTPLF, Metaplanet right there. And let's see. Oh, yeah, we were saying the other day, what day did you ask about this? Yesterday or 2 days ago? And we were saying it should get right into that channel. And yeah, this thing had run up pretty significantly, guys. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this chart. I have no idea what just happened there, but you can, damn, I got to like drop that thing way down. I know it ran up like crazy there. It's not even showing us everything on the chart. That's pretty bizarre. But anyway, it had run up pretty significantly not long ago, and now it's pulled back and setting up to run again. So that's what it looks like. And let me just look and see if I can get it to come back up a little bit better here. No, let me go back out. Hold on. SPY, Metaplanet. Let me just see. There you go. That's a little bit better. I don't know. Sometimes that happens. If I like try to zoom in too much, it gets a little screwy. But yeah, definitely looking good there. And it ran. I remember we were looking at it down here, guys, before it started running in like the 2s, and it had gone wild. It went up to 16 right there. And you're about to see it get set up again for good old Metaplanet. How about Anheuser-Busch? Good old Bud right here. And what were they? They were teaming up with Amazon or something? Or was it Netflix? Who know where they going with? Amazon? I forget. Hold on. Netflix. No. I forget who it was. I forget. They were teaming up with somebody to push some kind of advertising. I remember we read it. Anyway, who cares? Budweiser right here. Let's see what it's doing. And yeah, it's pretty bull. Look at that 50 coming down on that trend line right there. You get pinched in between that, you're going to see a nice little bounce up there. And obviously right here is where it's going to get there, and your trend line's coming through. It's going to be pretty interesting, but I would say Budweiser is looking pretty good, guys. So you might want to keep an eye on BUD right there, Bud, because that is not looking bad. And Elon does, we were talking about all the stuff Elon owns. He does our own Starlink as well. Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan Box. That's his name? I had no idea. Lip-Bu Tan Box. That's the CEO of Intel. That's pretty wild. 24 million. Cornetas board as startup solves AI's biggest bottleneck problem. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. Laptop travel. That's a crazy name though. The CEO, Lip-Bu Tan Box. I'll put it up here. You guys can read it. You know I can't read. But anyway, that's a pretty wild name right there. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, he's not from America, but I'm just saying it's a kind of difficult name to read. Lip-Bu Tan Box. What is that his name? Is that what it says? I don't even know what I'm reading. Is that his real name? That's the craziest name I ever saw. Holy cow. GDRX, good RX holdings right here. Let's see what this is doing besides pulling back today. Let me take a better look at GDRX right now. Yeah, it did run up pretty nice. I do think it's going to pull back and run up again. We'll just have to see, Zach, if that's going to be a tomorrow jobber. You're trying to get back in where the 20 and 50 are meeting up. And, yeah, it's just one of them ones I'd have to say. It looks like a coin flip. I'm going to jot it down next to CETX, GDRX, so that we can look at that first thing in the morning as well for you, Zach. So I'll definitely look at that. And Robin, we were talking about Robin selling his Tesla options yesterday, and he said that felt great. There's Michael Anthony. How are you there, Michael Anthony? ASTS has done great in 2 days. We were all over that one, Michael Anthony. We had that super early. We had it in the Discord, on the night note. We had it everywhere. But yeah, that one's been running. Bitcoin It didn't fall back under 20, did it? No, it's at 20 right there. 120 right there. So there you go, nasty devil. How are you? And if it hits 110, you're buying 400K of Solana. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Sol, I'm telling you, Solana is going to be a ripper. It's not that. What am I doing? I have to go to crypto. Solana is going to be a ripper, guys. I've been telling. How long have I been saying it for? It's going to be probably the biggest runner in the cycle for your big ones, I would assume. Ethereum was your big one last time, and it's going to run. Don't get me wrong; it's a great one to have. I tell everyone, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Ripple, they're all going to run. Believe me. Solana and Ripple might outdo what Bitcoin and Ethereum do in this run. Just giving you a heads up of what it looks like, and you can take it from there. I got them all, so I'm just letting you know what it looks like. And Senate Cruz said on Larry's show that came on at 7 that 150,000 people will be fired each day until the government opens back up. And that's 1 million people will lose their jobs by next week. Oh, he's going to clean house real quick. I've talked about this, Michael Anthony. They handed them all the power like idiots because they didn't realize what they were doing, because they were worrying about having, what, $350 billion for illegal immigrants' health care, which no other I pointed out. We're more than happy to help everybody all the time, but we have to make it feasible. No other country in the world would even remotely think about that. Say, hey, go shut down your country and don't pay your citizens just so that we can get 250 billion or 350 billion dollars so that we have health care for the people that aren't supposed to be in your country, the illegals. And let me know how that works out in any other country in the world, because they look at you like you're an idiot and they'd say, go to hell. It's not happening. Our people are going to work and the illegal immigrants are going to have to just figure out how to get health care, I guess. So, yeah, that's how it works, guys. I'm not going to lie. And we've seen the kind of money that's been getting thrown around for the last 4 years and everything else. It's astronomical amounts of money. If they weren't stealing so much money back then and just giving away everything, giving away the house, letting the immigration get out of control, which ended up putting a big strain on our economy and everybody else. If they weren't doing all that, I bet the money would be there right now. But guess what? It's not there. We can't really help out, and it's not going to happen. So, yeah, I'm telling you, he's gonna slay a lot of jobs right there. And guess what? The Democrats set themselves up to burn themselves apart. And I told you guys before it even happened exactly how it was going to go down, and that's exactly what you see happening. So, what are we going to do? And the rates will come down there, Michael Anthony, for sure. And remember what I said about AMD. And there you go, Michael Anthony. I don't think AMD was pulling back, huh? You said it was trying to pull back, and I told you it was about to pop. And there you guys said something's going on with AMD. And there's a rumor that the potential chip-making partnership with Intel, so that could be huge, guys. These guys are like the biggest competitors, American competitors right here. And now they're going to potentially be partnered together. That's wild, right? AMD and Intel, that's big. So there you go. I knew something was going on. I told you guys the other day, something is going on. I got plenty of options, and they were way up today. Trust me. Teslas were up early. A lot. I'm telling you guys, we've been crushing the market. That night note's insane. Every one of them, when I write the setups right there, you could play almost any one of them. Again, some are popping faster than others, but they're all rolling. I had Circle on there last week. That was cruising along. Hold on. Let me grab a water. There we go. Sorry, guys. I need a water. I just crushed my water tonight. And let me pour some water in there. And then we can keep on cruising because I am super thirsty for whatever reason. Hold on. There we go. And let's keep on cruising. We'll wrap up the night. And I just realized it's 10:30. We've been on for over 2.5 hours. I had no idea. And we were just cruising along. And it's the top of the ninth in the Yankees game, guys. And it is 4-0. So if Boston does not score, the Yankees are going on in the playoffs there. So we'll be watching that right now. And let's see, the government shutdown lingering would be a problem. And there you go. Keep your powder dry. People will need to raise cash to pay October bills. That I know. My niece sold her Bitcoins that she said going to sell off 94 sometime this month. That rumors are going around for a sell off. Yeah, if you're selling your Bitcoin right now, you might be a little crazy. I'm not going to lie. And has anyone heard of this rumor that Bitcoin? No, absolutely not. I would call up your niece and tell her she's getting the wrong information, Michael Anthony. She might want to tune into this show as well, because I promise you, it is not getting sold off right there. There's no way it's getting sold off. Look at the thing. Where's it going? It's at like it was just at 120 and it's getting cruising. There's no sell off in sight. Your 50s there, your 20s there, your 200 moving day is at like 105. It can't even break through that. Look at it. It can't get through it. And it's not going to. We're getting into that cycle where it's literally going to get rocking and rolling. And so, yeah, you might want to tell your niece that she's listening to wrong information right there. And BMNR, we love it. I'm telling you, we've already talked about this. I told you last night, Michael Anthony, watch BMNR, SBET, and UPXI. I told you these last night. And especially, I told you last night, as a matter of fact, go back and listen. I said, and especially watch this UPXI because it looks real good and it's popping up. And there you go. It's up over 11% today. I had this on the night note last week as well, guys. So I get you in the setups right before they happen. Again, sometimes you got to be a little bit patient, but when they run up like this and you trade it right and you're executing a nice trade on that thing, you're doing pretty damn well. So, and your accounts are going up big time. And that's what you want to see instead of forcing these crazy trades or running in and out of them. Just pick an easy setup, let it roll, and then hit the sell button when it's up and move on to the next one. So that is your UPXI, your BMNR, and your SBET. And yeah, they're all going to be great there, Michael Anthony. And Nasty Devil, yeah, everyone says Bitcoin will sell off to 110. And look at the RSI. Nasty Devil owns CIFR right there. And we do like that Cypher mining. We had run it up. Sam had it all the way up here. We told everyone to lock them in right at the top, and then it came down a little bit. And then I remember Sam bought it like right around the 11:50, 12 or something. I remember saying it, and then it ran up even more. So and that's why, guys, you run them up, you get rid of them, and then you find that next opportunity to run it up. And the ASST, we looked at that one already, Michael Anthony, and it is looking good for Strive Inc. We already knew that one. And let's see what else is going on. It's a QCLS. Let's see what that's doing right here. Oh, we looked at that. That is really good right there, that QCLS. And I remember, did I write that one down? Let me write it down. QCLS right there. That's a beauty. And let's see what else is going on. BTBT. That's Michael Anthony's way into crypto now, Bit Digital. And it's rolling up there, not looking bad. I'm trying to think of the other one that we do like. What is it? Not Bit. What the heck is it? It'll tell me over here. Hold on. Bit Farms is one of them right here. That's another good one. And then there's one more that we usually look at, and I can't think of what it is. What the heck is it? Is it not Bit? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'll remember in a minute. Hold on. It's the one that ran like to like $25 for us from like $1. I'm trying to remember what the heck. BTCT. There you go. BTCT just came to me. BTCT, BTC Digital right here. And there you go with that. And you try to ask me to something to come to me, but that's not a stock chart or a stock ticker, forget about it. I'd sit there for like 3 days. Somehow BTCT just came to me. I'll be honest with you, my long-term memory is getting way better, guys. And I'm just hoping my short-term memory, and I think it is getting a little improved. And I am going to set up my vision therapy and get into that. So, yeah, maybe I make a full recovery from having a major brain injury. Probably, like I tell you, I'm pretty sure I got hit. I probably took the hardest hit in the history of life to the head and survived. I got hit with a 10-ton jack with the pressure of a 2-story house right there, guys. You can see it. You can see where the stitches were. I had 4 stitches, and the hospital let me leave 4 hours later and told me I was perfectly fine. And I literally had a severe brain injury. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I was in cognitive therapy for like over 2 years. And this shows cognitive therapy. I tell you guys that all the time. And it's the reason why I started the show. I was doing something in cognitive therapy, and this just kind of was like I was doing that, and I was like, it's kind of boring because it wasn't interesting to me. I wasn't really interested in it. I just looked at it and went, if I did this with stock tickers, this would be fun. And then I came home, started doing started doing X shows. And the next thing you know, we're still doing it over a year later. And Nomo's doing a 3-hour show tonight. I can't even believe that. But I did tell a nice lengthy story at the beginning about Verizon. So you guys can go back and check that out. And Luis Rodriguez said they gave him a hard time too. And Nasty Devil, I don't think ASS is really a stock ticker. ASST is definitely one, though. But they will not let you do that. Trust me. That is one that will never be a stock ticker on the market. They don't let you do anything profanity or anything like that. So, yeah, you can't mess around like that on there. XYZ, that's block right there. That actually looks good, Michael Anthony. I'm going to have to jot that one down. It is getting set up to try to run up a little bit more for XYZ. And let me just see off of XYZ. Let's see what's going on. And the Yankees won it. They are game 3, it looks like. They did win, it looks like. So I would have to say they won the series. Wasn't the series 1-1 or was it 2? Was it 1-0? Yeah, it was definitely 1-1, right? The other series were all 1-1. I'm pretty sure it was. It doesn't say that it was it was game 3. It had to have been. And there you go. They just changed it there. They didn't even I looked at it before the app changed it. Yankees going on. I think I'm pretty sure Joseph Levy's a big Yankees fan. So, and I know Cavino's happy. Congratulations, Cavino. Your Yankees are going on. And I know, Rich, your Mets are just not seeing the playoffs for a really long time. That's for sure. And my Phillies are going against the Dodgers, and that's going to be one hell of a series, guys. I'm not going to lie. That's always a good series. They haven't played each other for a long time in the playoffs. It's been a while. And that'll be a really, really good series. So I have to see what the other series are going to be as they line up here. And here you go, guys, in the fourth quarter. So we will hop off. We can watch the rest of the football game. The Niners, 20. They still haven't scored again since, like, I guess the second quarter. The Rams, 20 with the ball, 9-11 left in the fourth quarter. So we'll see what's going on with that. And maybe they'll end up in overtime. That would be fun. And there you go with your little sports update. And let's see what else is going on. We'll cruise through the rest of this, and then we'll hop off. And CNC, what's that one? Each share of Samir is going to be worth, ASST soon. That's pretty funny. And CNC right here sent. Oh yeah, this is one you liked, Michael Anthony. You brought this to our attention, and we had watched it before jump up here, and it continued to run up. So there you go with your CNC. I do like that one, and I remember we had it on the list there for a while. So there you go. And it could be there you go, Michael Anthony and Nasty Devil are talking to each other. And let's see, everyone's saying they're doing Bitcoin. That's so many lies that they need to put all these here. Well, you know what's happening, Michael Anthony? They're doing treasuries. They're doing crypto treasuries. All these companies are buying a bunch of crypto, and then they're going to stake it. You can make a couple % off your stake. So they're buying millions of dollars worth of crypto and then staking it. And obviously, crypto is going to continue to run. So not only can you make a few percentage points each month, but also your investment's going to rise. So that is what everybody's idea is, Michael Anthony. And that's exactly what these companies like SBET and the other ones that you were talking about, BMNR and the UPXI. And there's a whole slew of them. It's insane. So that is exactly what they're all doing. And there's a million companies. I think almost every company is trying to do a crypto treasury at this point because they all run crazy. I mean, it's pretty wild. You know which one didn't run crazy when they announced it? PSQH, because it had already run up, and it's a Trump company one, and they had sold it off for you. And then it came back down, and now we'll watch it get set up. But ABCL, or no, not that. AB, what is it? I can't even think. I guess we've been on too long. What the heck is it? ABTC. That's it. Yeah, my brain's getting fried. ABTC is another one there, Michael Anthony. So there you go with that. And let me just see. Wild holds Palantir, Tesla, SMCI, MicroStrategy, and Meta. That's pretty wild. I was picturing it to be like an animal safari, and they're pretty good ones to have, I must say. So Vista shares Animal Spirits. That might not be a bad one right there. And yep, Luis Rodriguez was giving us the update. Yankees up 4-0, and now they just won the game. So they are moving on in the playoffs. And there you go. And the Bitcoin and the rest of the markets will start a correction tomorrow, since they might pull back. Michael Anthony, you're absolutely right. I don't know if crypto will, honestly, but I do think your SPY, some of your big caps and stuff like that, could absolutely pull back. No doubt about it. I was warning everybody today about that, as a matter of fact. And Bud Light trying to get set up right there. So there you are. You said Tat Molson right there. That don't look bad either. They both don't look bad. Bud Light don't look too bad. It's got to jump up a little bit more and get on that line. That'll look better than that Tap. And what is fun right here, Six Flags. Not looking bad right there for Six Flags. And I'm surprised because, well, they do a big Halloween attraction or something, so maybe that's going to help them out. I'm not sure, but that's not too bad at the moment, and that's a pretty nice pullback. I mean, that usually trades pretty high. I know that, and it's in the 40s and 50s, and you're back in the 23s, so absolutely could be a good opportunity there. And GDRX right here, good RX. We looked at this bad boy. It was just pulling back at the moment, and let's see what's going on. Typically, we have seen big run-ups of crypto Sunday evenings when the clock strikes midnight in Europe. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, he just hops around, and then they get cruising right there. Doge Mama's a big Dodgers fan, and we play Saturday. We sure do, Doge Mama 9, and they'll be coming into Philly first, and then obviously they go out to L.A. So, yeah, that's going to be a really good series, I think. Both real solid teams, right? They were solid teams anyway, but playing well right now too. So that will be a good one. AMD's scared because Intel getting so much cash that Intel is betting for so much cash that they need to build something, building. Whatever you're saying, Michael Anthony, I have no idea, but AMD looking great there and trying to partner up with Intel. And we know Intel has a government contract, so like we said, it was going to happen to a lot of companies. Once they started doing it with one, they were going to go around. I said, I'm surprised they haven't gone after Dell yet, or like an SMCI. So I'm sure it will happen sooner than later. Let's put it that way. And I know Six Flags is struggling. There's a major shareholder pushing to sell some of the properties for development. So yeah, you have a Six Flags, right? Not too far from me. We have one. I guess it's Central Jersey. It's probably in between us, Luis Rodriguez. It's off, 7A on the Turnpike or something. And I'm way down there on the Turnpike by Philly, and you're way up on the Turnpike. So, yeah, it's probably in the middle of us, the Six Flags in New Jersey. And, yeah, I just know that they do struggle a lot. I like the Safari. I'm not a big rides person anyway, but Six Flags has been struggling for a little while now. So, I mean, what company? It's so hard to run these big major companies all the time, especially things like that. The insurance is absurd, guys. And you see what these insurance packages and rates are now and things of that nature. Just imagine what Six Flags insurance would be. I mean, holy cow. It has to be so astronomical. Not only they have a safari with like lions running around, and then they got a roller coaster that can kill you. They got shit that'll kill you every minute and every second everywhere. So yeah, your insurance alone is going to crush you in something like that. So I think Six Flags. Then they also put on like the Halloween stuff too. They do try to do stuff like that and draw in people throughout the season. But yeah, I feel bad for companies like that because again, your overhead is just so astronomical. How do you even compete with anything at that point? It's kind of tough. But anyway, there you go. I would say that we had a pretty good show right there. That's for sure. And let's see what else is going on over here. And we'll save whatever else we have for the morning. Let me see what's happening here. Let me see. Yeah, the Yankees did win. I see a lot of people posting about that and excited. And let me see what else is happening over there. Nothing too much. So I would say that's a pretty fun. You think they canceled their Christmas events? Wow. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're definitely struggling. I don't see. Remember we talked about Rite Aid and like Walgreens and all them companies. What, months before they were filing for bankruptcy or anything and going out. I said, I'm like, that industry, you just can't. It's not feasible. It's not viable anymore. And you see, they all closed up. Rite Aids are gone. Walgreens are gone. And the only ones that really made it were CVS's. And yeah, it's just one of them things that's it's a tough industry to run in. It was lucrative before, but times change and it gets tough. So that's kind of where Six Flags is too. And again, you got to kind of think how many people go and really spend it costs a fortune to go for the day. So I think families kind of scale it out anymore instead of they'd rather go on like a mini vacation than take a day trip. Let's put it that way. So that's what ends up happening. These tickets and stuff are so expensive and everything, eating there, doing this. You spend you spend as much as you would go away for a weekend. So and you're going somewhere for one day. You guys can go run a Airbnb on a lake and go hang out for the weekend and really enjoy yourself. Or you can go to Six Flags, stand in lines and try to get on a few rides, be sweating all day, and spend literally what you'd spend on a weekend at Airbnb to relax. I mean, I understand people love roller coasters and stuff. So, and yeah, they get their crowds, but I know they are struggling. And again, their overhead is just too much. I talk about overhead all the time on with businesses, and it's the biggest struggle, guys. It's gotten so astronomical right now. People don't realize what the overhead really does to companies. It destroys you. I mean, that's what you're paying for. That's why companies go bankrupt. Their overhead became too much, too fast, and they couldn't keep up with it, and it drowned you. That's exactly what happens. And Luis Rodriguez said he got to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for the holidays. That's gorgeous for sure. And checked out all the food is excellent. Only a 6-hour drive from you, huh? Yeah, I know. Williamsburg is really, really pretty, and it's a beautiful area up there. So, and Busch Gardens. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty fun day, evening, night, whatever you guys want to call it. Hope you guys enjoyed the Verizon story, everything else we did, and we got plenty of setups. And I'm just telling you guys, Laptop Travels list is the list you want to look at in the morning, guys. It is a beauty right there. And of course, he'll be on at 4 a.m. with the 4 a.m. Warriors. Couldn't even think. And so he'll be in the Discord doing all that. Laptop Travel said he loves Busch Gardens, and longtime friend used to be the food and beverage manager for the park. Such a multi-task. Yeah, that's a big job right there. I can only imagine. And so yeah, follow Laptop Travel in the Discord. He'll be on at 4 a.m. for the 4 a.m. Warriors, and of course, check out his newsletter. It's always great. And everything else that's going on. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We had quite a show tonight. We almost did 3 hours. I don't know if we've ever done a 3-hour show. I didn't even realize it was 2.5 hours had even gone by. I guess we were just having a good time. And here you go. I must be feeling better, but I can definitely tell I'm exhausted now. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And let's see, it's the most beautiful park, Busch Gardens in America for like 15 years straight. It is crazy. Busch Gardens is beautiful. They're not going out of business, guys. They got it down to a system where they can make revenue, make profits, and keep their revenues going. So Busch Gardens figured it out, and it's a little bit different, but people do love it. I know a lot of people that go to Busch Gardens, and they absolutely love it. I've never been there, been in that area, but never went to the actual Busch Gardens and the park and all like that. So I do hear it's gorgeous. And there you go, Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, and of course, Michael Anthony hanging out. Deleted was hanging out there. And a Nasty Devil, thanks for coming on. And who else was hanging out with you? I know you were chatting with Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony's our favorite person on here. Of course, Robin, he's the best too. And Robin's been crushing it. I told you guys, Robin's been doing great. And again, he said it took him a couple months, but now he sold them options yesterday for Tesla. Look at that. And you want to hear what he said? Here you go. I'll just tell you. Felt really good, guys, to lock in those profits. So just take it from Robin. Don't listen to me. Listen to Robin. He's been doing really well lately, and it didn't start off really great for him, trust me. But guess what? We stuck with it, and Robin is doing a really good job, and you just get that confidence and keep yourself going each day, and a little by little, you just start seeing your accounts grow, and then all of a sudden, they really start rolling. And but you don't want to get out of control and get sloppy. You want to maintain what you know works and keep doing it. So there you go, Zach. And who else? Central Florida and everybody else that was tuning in. Of course, our buddy from the after show, but later, Daniel Javier Fitz giving us that data vote and a couple other ones. So yeah, he does a cool little after show, but later about CNR. He also does a little info about Rogan and some other people as well. So you can definitely check out Daniel Javier Fitz, big CNR fan, know him from there. And actually met him out in at the convention, so that was a lot of fun. And John Curry was on this evening. I knew there was a couple more, and that was a Utah Utes. That's who I was thinking. I knew you were like the first person on this evening. So Utah Utes, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and of course, Doge Mama 9 is on all the time, and Lewis in Utah, thanks again, and everybody else. So be sure to like the show, follow along on X, YouTube, Instagram, and all that good stuff. And obviously, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, everybody. And until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., we will be back at it again. Drew Allen just reposted this stream, so thank you, Drew. I greatly appreciate that, and everybody else that does. Mickey Spooktacular, where's that at? Is that over there at Busch Gardens? And let's see, and it's affordable. That's what I hear too. Busch Gardens is actually kind of affordable. I've heard that too. What's it in Virginia, right? And was the Tesla options a first for Robin? That's a good question, Doge Mama 9. We'll have to get that answer. I don't know if he's on still. I know he gets up really early, so he might have cut out. We'll get that answer. I will ask him. We'll shoot him a message, Robin. If you're listening, was that your first option? I don't really know, to be honest with you. It's a very good question, and I'm guessing he probably had already cut out. It's 11 o'clock at night, and he said he listens to the morning show on his way to work, so he's up early. So yeah, we'll ask him though. I'll even jot it down, Robin. Let me jot that down. Robin's Tesla, was it his first? That's a good question. I don't even know, Doge Mama 9. So we will find out, though, that's for sure. And again, like I said earlier, if you feel like, you're still not getting it, or you're a little shaky, you're right there and you're just not sure, send me a DM on X and we'll get you set up, especially next week. I'm telling you, we're going to get ripping through this market, guys, and we're going to make accounts grow, and your eyes are going to be like, holy cow, I didn't even know you could do this in the market that fast. And we're all going to be doing it, trust me. So it's going to get to be a lot of fun. I can already see it happening and setting up, and you guys know I love this stuff. So there you go, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. The Yankees are going on in the playoffs, and Doge Mama 9, our Phillies and Dodgers are playing each other coming up Saturday. So everybody else, all your teams, I hope they're doing well tonight. And let's see what the football game is as we cut out. I'll give you a quick update there. There's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Let's go watch it. 49ers had the ball. It's 20-20. We'll cut out now. We'll finish watching the football game and enjoy that. Everybody, thank you so much. And we'll make it stop right before 3 hours at 2 hours and 59 minutes tonight for a show. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I so greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the Verizon story and everything else. Any questions, let me know. I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.